Hello and good day, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world of soaring. This is virtual soaring GP racing live from Boras, Sweden for the qualification of our virtual JP racing. And we also are having today the May 14th of 2022. So we are on a well, what is today? Saturday afternoon. That's where we are. And you don't see anybody on my next side here. I am all by myself for now. No worries about it. We'll have guests and people coming in. We have glider pilots from Boras actually coming in. We have Antoine himself coming in. So we have plenty of things to talk about it. But here we are on day 7 of the final race of today's competition to finalize the scores and to see what happens. So much has happened since yesterday when we left you. Ben and I were talking about day 6 and this incredible racing that we were watching. And then we were patiently waiting for quite some time to see when the results come in. And that usually takes 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 hours because all the other things coming in, all the other races, all the other time slots for the different time zones. And then we finally got in and got the results. And I'd like Tim to show me the result day for day number 6, if possible. And here they are. I believe they're coming in the second year when Tim has it, day number 6. And as you can see, voila, Jerome won, Frank is second, Ernesto is third, Arthur is fourth, Cuba is fifth, Thomas is sixth, seventh is Roni, eighth is Tim, 9 is Arne Martin Güttler, and then we have 10 is Paco. And I'm like, hold on the minute. Why aren't we seeing Mr. Witold Witzek? If you scroll all the way down, and you can, if you scroll all the way down, you don't see him. Nope, not to be found. What happened to him? There he is on 39th place. What? What happened? Yeah, we all ask ourselves that same question. What happened? What happened is he flew too low to the finish line. He didn't have the 350 meters. That's what happened. And that created a massive upset for him, who has been the leader of the board. He has been the leader of the overall results. Check out the overall results if you want to. Click on those, and here they are. Arne Martin Güttler now is in first place. Da, da, da. And Thomas Myers in second, and Witold Witzek is in third. That is some massive news, some massive, like, what the heck? The podium has shifted, the podium has changed, and everybody's like scratching their head. One of the best, if not the best of this competition, has slid down to third place. And it's because he took the approach to the finish line below 350 and didn't pull up enough or too late. And guess what happens? Best man, best guy on the course, pulling up too late, 0 score, outlanded, basically. So that is a huge upset. But if you continue in the time right here, we have Arthur in fourth, Arthur Dutzik. In fifth, we have Kuba Jetruszkiewicz. And also very interesting to see third, fourth, and fifth place are all Polish. First is Danish, second is Hungarian. So considering that the Germans are usually the strong ones, in the virtual world, we have a bit of a turnaround here. And in sixth, we have the French guy, Javier. Very nice. And in seventh, Jérôme Jeannin, the Belgium, who is coming up the ladder really, really strong. In eighth, the Swedish guy, Ronnie Lindell, also scoring very well in the last couple of days. And then we have the first couple of Germans here, Helmut Kühne and Stefan Beach. And those are rounding up the top 10 of the overall competition in Boras, our second virtual soaring Grand Prix. I might as well go down the whole list. I have plenty of time before the races start. Right now, it's 2:34 my time, so it's 18:34 your time if you're in Central Europe. And the race will start around 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. So let's continue with place number 11. We have Alex Holzleder from Netherlands. 12 is Mihaly Knaus from Hungary. 13 is Norbert Kist from Hungary. 14 is Krasimir Hatstrovic from Croatia. In 15s, we have Subik Skots from Poland, and the first American here, Dennis Simmons from the United States in 16s and 17s. Tim Madsen, Denmark. Timke also known. Then the other German, 18s, Gerd Bodenhausen. In 19s, we have Vaidosta Pasvenskas from Lithuania, followed by his fellow countryman Darius Esketsis in 20th, and 21st, Frank Schwertfeger. And to his upset, I would say only 3 scores so far. If you look to the right, you can see it, only 3 scores so far of the 6 that happens. And we know why 2 of them got canceled. So that's a bummer for Frank. Anyway, 22nd, we have Richard Batham from United Kingdom. And 23rd, Ernesto Dorion, the Argentina. We talked to him yesterday often because he has come up the ranking list very strong, because he missed the first 3 races because he wasn't able to log into the virtual server on Condor, which is a really bummer. In 24th, we have Cristiano Moreira from Brazil. In 25th, we have Clinton Clover from New Zealand. 26th is Sam Betts, another German in the house. And then we have in 27th, Paco Redondo from Spain. 28th is Janosek from Poland. 29th is Arnold Pieper from Brazil. 30th is Donald Pierre Luigi from France. And then 31st, David Redman, who actually won, I think, the second task day from Australia. And he did not finish any of the other races so far, which is a bummer, but he's shown himself to be very strong. 32nd, Stasis Stacionis from Lithuania. From Australia, John Blyth on 33rd, and Stuart Hampshire from the United Kingdom, 34th, and I believe he also has a win. Let me just click on it. I think he has a win overall. He has 1 first place as well. Yes, I remember that correctly. Then we have Gonzalo Bazin from Chile. We have 35th and 36th, we have Claudia Simonier from France. 37th is Tomas Butkevicius from Lithuania. And then 38th, Noboru Chakta, Japan. 39th, Janis Teteris from Latvia. 40th is Haksar Christian, Hungary. 41st, June Duke, United States. 42nd, John Mitchell or Mittel from United States. 43rd, and this is Calvin van Balen, the South African. And 44th, we have Pete Geza from Hungary. And then 45th, Michel B. Bigond from France. 46th, we have Vizio V from Poland. And then 47th is Almantas Sujos from Lithuania. 48th, Michael Yankov, Bulgaria. 49th, Petel Hakima from Netherlands. 50th, Susuma Terranando, Japan. Lots of people here, more to come. 51st is Rogerio Colino from Portugal. 52nd is Tumo from Japan. 53rd is Marco Rachimakers from the United States. 54, Isaac Ramos, Chile. And then we have 55th is Carl Luciano Herreman from Switzerland. Then we have David Hosti from France. And 57th is Domanitas Petrauskas from Lithuania. The last 3, Barry Turner, Balaras Hellinger, and C. Phil Gioras, are all in 58th because they have not scored. And now we have the entire complete people racing in the virtual world. Quite a bit of a race here. I had to read it out. It's the last day. Might as well. So everyone is mentioned. Everyone is part of this incredible racing here today. And yeah, what else am I going to show you tonight? What else am I going to show you? Let's go to the point is where else we're going to go for this week and the next weeks to come for the competition days for the Soaring GP Series 11 and the qualifiers for the virtual Grand Prix. Tim, we have this lovely page with all those dates of the World Cup, and there it is. There we go. You can see with all the red dots on the map where all we're going to be. Lots in Europe. We have down there in South America. We have South Africa. We have Australia. So, and today we're finishing with Sweden, with Boras, and starting tomorrow, actually today we have actually already the training day in Poland, in Tsar, from the May 15th to 21st. And if you are part of that, might as well start training today, unless you're flying in the last qualifier here in Sweden. Otherwise, tomorrow we're going to have the Poland races starting, the qualifiers. So lots of good racing there. Then we have next Lithuania, May 29th to June 4th. Then Varese, Italia, June 5th to 11th. Germany, Eisenhüttenstadt, from 24th to the 30th of July. And then we go into the second half of the year. We go into July 30th to August 6th, Bosnia-Herzegovina in Livno. And then France, Vignon, from September 4th to the 10th of September. And then Australia, we have Gawler, January. We go into the next year, to January 2nd to January 8th, and so on. Again, we have Vignon, France, and then Gawler, Australia. I already mentioned that. Chile, South Africa, and Italy one more time for the final. And that's what we're having in store for you guys for the entire year of the Virtual Soaring GP 2022 World Cup in 2023. All right, we have the overall results are covered. We have that covered. And what else we got? Let's go. Yeah, where else we're going to go? This is where I got to head. Thank you, Tim, for that. Appreciate it. Let's go back into our office. I guess that's a good spot to be. All these people are ready to go. I am by myself, so I have to talk a lot. And that means I have to drink a lot. So I'm looking forward. Thank you for all you people watching wherever you are in the world, possibly in one of the clubhouses, probably in Boras. I heard we have about 30, 40 people sitting there and watching us. Thank you. If I look at the 2D images that we have, we can see some people already in the air, preparing themselves to go. And they're ready to take off in the world of virtual gliding. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to log in myself and to see if I get the nice weather report for today's race, if it's not too late. Clickety click, clickety clack. And let's read about the weather that we have today. Just give me a bit of a moment. There we go. Tick-tock, tick-tock. A little bit of silence during the broadcast sometimes happens because we are doing this all live. And live means nothing is prepared. We all do it on the fly all the time. You know, when we were prepared quite well, but some things just take a little longer than usual, and I'm not worried about it. So let's see where we are. Okay, copy that. So Tim is giving me what he's going to do. Today's weather for the last day, we have the direction wind coming from 295 degrees, which is west-west-north. So very strong winds, no less. It's 40 kilometers of wind, guys. That is a massive amount of wind. Holy moly. And the turbulences are light. At least that's what they say in the weather report for the virtual gliding. The thermals today, the cloud base is about at 1,500 meters, and the strengths are moderate, so not as strong as yesterday, so we're coming down a little bit. And that is quite, that's tricky with moderate thermals and 40 kilometers per hour wind. Wow, we got to have a lot of fun there. The width is normal, activities are normal, and flat activities are high. So, of course, no wave action really. I don't think we're going to get high enough for that. So, the task is interesting to see. We start off, and there you can see for yourself, we start off at 1,200 meters. That's the start maximum height of the start, between 0 and 1,200 meters. And then we go to turn point 1, which is crosswind, southwest, right? And then we have a lot of tailwind going from turn point 2 to from 1 to 2. Right, lots of tailwind. So we're flying really, really fast for that specific track. And then from turn point 2 to turn point 3, which is also it's the longest leg, we have a lot of cross and headwinds. That means it will take a long time to get up there and to make this thing happen. The total distance of this racetrack today is 257 kilometers. So that's pretty impressive. And then after turn point 3, we're making another right turn, going to turn point 4, then back to turn point 5, and then a quick hop over to the finish line. and the minimum is 400 meters. If I'm mistaken, right? 400 meters, so it's a 350 again. Usually it's 350, even though um, the Condor always rounds it up to 400, but I believe it's 350 today. That's the minimum height arrival. You might want to stay a little bit over. As we know, somebody else did not make that today. Oops, oops. And in the hangar today, we have again the 18-meter class, and mostly flown is the JS 318 or the Ventus 318. Those are the two planes that are being used right now in Boras, which is great. The NOTAM, the information is airborne at 1,100 meters. No plane icons are at 29 kilometers. We have turn point helpers at 29 kilometers as well. We have penalty points for thermal helpers, 200 points. Height recovery is 200 points, and cloud flying, 60 points per minute. Yeah, that's how we do that today. This is going to be a tough race, guys. We know that in the real flying, hoo-ha, hoorah, in the real flying, we had today a winner. And today, hold on, in today's race, Stefan Lange won the overall and today's task. And so he won the overall competition in Boras and qualified. Congratulations, Stefan Lange, for that incredible thing. But we'll talk about that more later. We might have him actually live here on our screens. So what else do we have to talk about this task? I think we got this task covered. It looks like a beautiful day out there. And I'm not going to join this flight. Nope, not today. Let's go into the air and see what the people are doing on the server. We know we have plenty of them up already. It might not be as many as yesterday, not as many are flying today, possibly because they have no chance of playing, but there we go. They have a nice overview. Look at the clouds. Way different than yesterday. Whoa, far and wide spreads. This will be a completely different race today than yesterday. We have just a few cumulus. They are medium height, medium strength, lots of tailwind, lots of head and crosswind. Wow, wow, wow. I'm looking forward to commentate on this race today. We have Kresimir Haskovic, Kilo Hotel, right now having a height of 1,646 meters. And he is not the highest, but he's high enough. And again, for all the newbies out there who've never seen the screen, watching this for the first time, the blue square that we're looking at with the red and white stripes tower in the center is the start line. And every pilot has to fly through the start line for it to start. The time, since we're doing GP racing, is the time starts and it goes green and everybody can finish or start this race. And as time ticks, the moment we go to zero. So that's GP racing for you. It starts and then you head to turn point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the finish line and finish up. Easy said than done, and lots of options. Boy, if I look at these clouds far, far, far in the distance, you guys may see more outlandings than we have seen in the past, and that makes it really, really exciting. And I wish I had my friends here to chat about this, but this is how it is. These long columns that we're seeing in the distance or right and left are the turn points. So we have a turn point right there. That's why that yellow line, which is the direct line to turn point 1, goes straight up because it goes up to 10,000 meters, even though we won't see 10,000 meters today. And from the low profile that Tim just showed us, you can see Sweden in this area is very flat, has a bit of hill here and there. And the difficulties in real life is there's a lot of forests, lots and lots of forests. And so outlanding is always a risky thing because you might be stuck in some sort of a forest and no streets there. You know, Sweden is a humongous country and it's populated, lightly populated, but nevertheless is a country that loves soaring, that loves gliding. And they've been holding the qualifiers for Boras. It's not the first time, they've been doing it quite often. And the enthusiasm is fantastic. Here we are seeing some people in this cloud that's disappearing, I believe, and everybody's soaring and thermaling in this gaggle, and we know who is all there. Tim, if you give us a beautiful little screen to the left that always gives us all the score of distance flown, we can easily see it's all there. That makes it quite easy for us to know who is in the server and who is not, and where they're at. So for all the people on YouTube, I'll try to keep my eyes open for you guys. Hope you will say hello to us. And what's your prediction? We know today is the last day of racing, but we also know one race of the 7 that you have done can be canceled out. Your worst race, as a matter of fact. So that's good for Vitold, because his 0-pointer from yesterday will be canceled out, and that puts him back into first spot, if you think about it. But if he messes up today, if he messes up, then boy, oh boy, then we have to take out that sweat towel again we've been talking about every day. And but there we can see it to the left. We have Dennis, Frank, which is 6 X-ray Romeo, Oscar 9, X-ray Romeo, Frank 9, which is Foxtrot 9, is Helmut, Vitold, Victor Romeo, Victor. We have ZBY, Zulu Bravo Yankee. And I apologize that I don't have all their names in my head yet. I'm not that good. I cannot memorize them all, but I try. But Vitek Chukas is ZBY, and RPB, I don't remember his name right now. And then we have Johnny's Terrace, we have Kuba, Timke, we have 9A. No. So I apologize for all that, but we see they have 20 pilots today, and I don't need to tell you everything about it. Look it up yourself. If you've never flown this and you wonder how you can fly, one way to get to this is Condor 2. Condor 2 is the simulator that we're all playing and flying with, and Condor 2 is this incredible software virtual tool that is known for its qualities. It's in its second version right now. It's Condor 2. That's why Condor 2, and we love it. People love it, and it has been up, and they're writing right now the third version of Condor 3. They're working on it. We do not know the release date, but it's coming, and everybody's anticipating it because supposedly we have some incredible updates, especially with the weather and the clouds and the thermal adjustments, etc. This is really, really key to make it as real as possible. And the owners and IT people that are heavily involved, working feverishly on this project to get it out. And we're all hoping it's going to happen this year. But nevertheless, if you've never done it, Condor version 2 is sufficient, as we can see, and it's really realistic in so many ways. And there's hundreds of maps that you can download, integrate into your virtual program, and fly. You could be able to fly wherever you are in the world, and you probably have that map. So that's really cool, and it's fun to do. Myself, I started in October of last year, flying September of last year, after I watched literally this channel. I watched the World Championship and watched Ben Fest, who was my commentator and co-pilot yesterday here, and I watched him win. And ever since then, I was like, dang, this is some really cool stuff. How can I do this? And so I found Condor 2, downloaded it, purchased it, and had fun ever since. And then 6 to 8 months later, here I'm sitting with you guys and having fun talking to you and talking about this incredible race coming your way. So all you YouTubers, and I'm going to try to go to Twitch as well. Just give me a moment. I have to load Twitch to be able to. Let me just be patient with me, please. Twitch, there we go. Let's see if I find somebody commenting on Twitch. Yesterday, I wasn't able to find it. I found the server, but I didn't see the chat, which was bizarre. All right. Please be patient with me, folks, that I sometimes go silent when I do multitasking. Multitasking. But it seems like it's offline. Am I wrong? No, it's not. Yeah, it's off. No, it's wrong. There it is. Okay, we have some people on Twitch. So if you have any comments, We'll we'll find it. We'll find it. I'm hearing myself now on Twitch. How weird is that? No, that's not good. So we're coming close to the start. We have 5 more minutes. We're seeing a new cloud building right there, which is very close to the start line. Actually, it's behind the start line, and everybody's holding on to this to keep the height up. Remember, we have only a maximum start height of 1,200 meters. So, being as we told right now at 1733, he'll have to dive down, possibly with some air brakes and the flaps down, and just and shoot through that. Maximum ground speed is 170 kilometers per hour, so you cannot go over this. All this will create the penalty points, and if we earlier when we looked at the results of day 6, most of them actually had penalty points, and I was quite a bit surprised. And it's like, why do they have penalty points? And it's something I would like to ask Antoine when he comes on board later. What are these penalty points? Why do they have penalty points? Because I'm not quite 100% sure how they came about. Might have been too fast or too low. I don't. Or they flew into the clouds. Mostly, maybe it was cloud flying, so they were points. And then points create seconds loss, and so that changes quite a bit of the scoring. And again, in such a tight competition that we're in right now, that is something to avoid as possible. And that's where that is. So, Twitchers and YouTubers, where are you? I don't see anything. I don't see no hellos, no nothing. Yesterday we had all these awesome people talking to me. I guess you're all focusing on the soaring, trying to get yourself into a good position and ready to go, huh? Tim, if I might ask you, what is the time? Is it 3 minutes or less? 3 minutes. Okay, so today at the top of the hour, at 19 o'clock European time or 3 o'clock UTC time, 15 UTC, we'll be starting today's race. And again, at 15, the gates open and the race is on. And everyone is going to fly through it as quick as they can if they're allowed to, and then they try to find the first thermal. And since the thermals and the clouds are so far spread out today, again, we see a new one building up to the right before the start, but basically what's behind the start line is key. And we see a couple of clouds to the left, a couple of clouds to the right, but we don't know how strong they are. So we don't know. This is, oh yeah, exciting race. I think that cloud right past the start line is actually dissipating the way that looks. The one right over the yellow line, that one looks actually developing nicely. But what most people may do, since the wind's coming from the southwest, they might wait to turn on turn point 1 first before they're going into the thermals, because then they have tailwind, and they be going with the clouds and towards the direction of turn point 2. So we'll find out how it goes. 2:58. Let me see. And how many seconds do we have? 36 seconds. So we have about a minute and 20 seconds to go before the start kicks off. And my throat is getting dry. I've got to water this up a little bit, and might as well. And now you can see, actually, when you look at these blue dots, which are all the call names of the planes, they're starting to line themselves up where they feel most comfortable. And now they're speeding up. They have 55 seconds to go. And they're all starting to fly towards that start line. Can you zoom a little bit in so we don't have such a big overview, because we're going to be close to the line, a little closer, a little closer. Here we go. That's great right there. Perfect. So we have them all there. We've seen them before. We know who it is. We're having Victor Vitold, who's in 3rd place of the overall right now in mainstream. We have to look for AM, Anton Alpha Mike, Martin Güttler, because he is leading the leaderboard right now. And if he wins today and Vitold makes a mistake, he might stay there. We also have, of course, the 3rd place gentleman, which is Thomas Meyer, the Hungarian. So these are top 3 we have to really look out for. Arthur in Cuba still have a chance to also hit 2nd and 3rd. We want the first 2 to qualify. So there's 2 spots available for the qualification. Remember that. Now it is 3 o'clock. The race should start now. The gates are open, and bam, off we go. Last day, 7th day of the qualifier for the virtual soaring GP in Boras, Sweden is live now. We are here ready to go. And the excitement and the nervousness of the pilots are on your screen, so you can see it right there. Timke is in the lead, leading this pack of wolves going to turn point 1. Let's see what happens. And thank you for all you people out there watching this incredible race on YouTube or Twitch. We have Frode as well saying, go AM, go Atom, Anna Martin Güttler, and Norway. Yeah, of course, Frode, thank you for that. And anybody on Twitch saying anything? Nothing yet, no comments. That's okay. This is the lead. So Timke took the chance to lead. He took the right side, and oh, look at that. There was a nice little dolphin action of some of the leaders up there in the back. So I guess there are some developments of some strong clouds and thermals. And they might take them already. Oh, yes, they are. Look at that. If you go Javier and Arne Martin Güttler over there in the background, they are starting to turn and take it to height. And everyone else is continuing. So we'll see if which theory or which choice is the best in a few minutes and see. But to look at that, they already left it again, meaning it wasn't strong enough. Yeah, that's a part of the deal that we're having right now. Again, remember that thermals today are medium quality, so we're probably averaging between 2 and 3, maybe in McCready of 2.1, 2.5. We'll see how it plays out. We don't know that. And since they are so far apart, we don't have too many options. You cannot be too picky. How about that? Not too picky. So the ground speed right now is hemming around 140, 143, heading for the first turn point. And we thought Timke was in the lead, but from this position, it looks like he's not. But it might be just a graphical misleading. I think Timke is going to go around that turn point first. But it doesn't really matter right now. Nothing. Everybody seems to be in the same height, similar speed, 150K. And everybody's going into the first turn. Bam! And they're going to turn to the left. Or is that a thermal right there before the turn point? What do we got here? What's happening over there, my friend? I think they found a thermal, a cloud. I can't see it from this view, but everybody's turning and making a left turn. I thought it was a right turn. No, no, it is a left turn. Okay. Oh, it's left and then right. I apologize. Yep, there we go. I'm confused, though, a little bit confused. I don't think I have the map on my head correctly. But they are turning left to go to turn point 2 that we're seeing in the distance, which is only about 30 miles away. It's not that far away. Again, it's one of the shorter legs, and then we go into the long legs. Arne Martin Güttler, my friend, why are you so far behind? Huh? Your goal is to be up front, not in the back. But I guess it's a really good strategy as well. You can see what thermals are strong or not, with thermals are being taken. If you look a bit above, you can see a cloud forming there. And if you look at Timke, TKM, you see he's flying towards a new cloud, I believe, that's developing over there, more to the left. And he's turning right now. So he may have found something in the blue that we all didn't see before. If he, -7, that's nothing. That's really bad. So he didn't find anything. He may thought he had something, but we did see that there was a new cloud forming. And there's another one forming. So there's all these new clouds popping up. And Timke is the only one choosing to go to the left, far left. Okay. That's his choice and his prerogative. Everyone else is flying faster to the other clouds that are looking a bit more developed. And yeah, way less action today. There's way less options today. That is the beauty of soaring. The weather changes every day, and that's the art of soaring, especially when you're in a GP, in a Grand Prix. You need to be the fastest. You have to learn how to center the thermal quickly and make sure you're not hitting someone while you're at it. penalty points for crashing only in the virtual world. If you're crashing in the real world, I think you only do it once, and you might be lucky if you get out of that alive. That's the risk of flying. Most of these pilots in Europe, I think it's mandatory that you have to wear parachutes. But if you only, as Timke right now, is being at 885 meters, that parachute has to develop quickly so it can catch you before you hit the ground. So here we are. We have two options, two clouds. Which one will be serving you well? KMI thinks the one to the right, and he has a 5.1422618, so he had a bit of stick lift, and that seems to be a decent thermal, or not. Phew, 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 phew. Tough call, guys. There's a new one right there, and this is the one I was talking about earlier that was coming in new. And so we have three gaggles going on right now, and wondering which one is the strongest. Is it the Arne Martin Güttler one right there with Thomas Meyer in it, or is it the one further up front with Timke and Kuba and JT? Because the other ones choose the one to the left, and that seemed to be quite weak. Didn't pay out at all. And so they're flying onto the next cloud. Risky, risky, and further away from turn point 2. Yeah, if you look at this one, he's only 700 meters up, and that's V8, Victor 8. And he's coming up to this thermal. Is this a new cloud developing, or is it falling apart? It's falling apart the way this looks. So he has to go even further to the next cloud. He is taking a huge risk right here from the start. Not be recommended. I would like to go back to the other ones who are in the thermals and see where they're at. JT left that thermal as well. What about Arne Martin Güttler and them guys? Here they are. They're going up. Not that strong. Not that strong. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So somewhere between 0 and 4.5, 4.6. That's what they're getting right now. They're going up. They're not the fastest. I think they're one that Vitold and the rest of the gang over there having maybe a stronger thermal, stronger average. And it is a risky, risky, risky one. Here we go. Arne Martin Güttler decides to. Who is coming back? I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't hear that. Okay. So we have one coming. Charlie on your mic. Came back a little bit. He's very low. But here we are. Arne is choosing to go back into this thermal with all the other guys. And he's flying through it without sticking with it. They're all a little bit higher above him. And KMI, Kilo Mike India, and Victor Romeo Whiskey, Whiskey Romeo Whiskey, all leaving the thermal right now. They have reached the limit. You can see the cloud is actually falling apart the way this looks. And off they go towards turn point 2. And we have some stragglers up front, meaning they're leading right now, but with the lead that they're having, they have no height. And to start off a race, you can be risky like this, and it may pay out, but it might also just cut your finger in the end. You don't know. Here we go. Let me see if I can chat with some people in the chat rooms and just see if what they're doing. It's all good. Where's our friend Antoine? He said he might be up with us and sitting with me, but he's having probably fun with the boys, having a beer, possibly 2, maybe a meal or 2. Who knows what they're doing? They're having fun in the clubhouse, watching this incredible race unfolding in front of them, and listening to Norman chit chat and talk. Chit chat and talk. So we have this new cloud right there, and I believe it looks like it's falling apart as well. or is it having something in it? Some people need it desperately, and other people saying I may or may not take it. Um, Looks like Vitold is going to say, no, I'm not taking this, even though the rest of the crew below him, JT, Frank, and all of them are thermaling. But I'll take it back. I'll take it back. They are definitely taking this one. It might be a new thermal. And in the lead right now, the way it looks is Vitold and Kilo Mike India, who are in the lead because they're the highest. And the other guys up front, V8 and all of them, seems like they're a little bit far off to the left. And Nesto, who's been throwing really well in a couple of days, is all the way back there trying to find something. Sam, which is Stefan Bach, I believe, no, Sam is not Stefan Bach, that's somebody else. He's not taking this cloud, he's not joining the circle. Nope. But this cloud, it looks like it's disappearing. I'm surprised that they're sticking with it, but maybe it has strong enough left because the Vario is averaging around 2.5, which is a decent thermal nowadays. You might want to take it and take what you get. Take what you get, guys. We have one fly WV. I think V8 will meet the farmer's daughter soon. I'll agree with you. He is 390 meters up, and there is something. Turn, turn, turn. Unless it was just a stick figure here, the stick pulling on the stick, but did he get something? Is he getting something? He's turning now. If he gets a strong thermal now, the farmer's daughter has to wait. Thank you, one fly. That is funny. But he's really far to the left, so he's creating a lot of distance between himself and turn point 2. Not the ideal thing, but if you look to the left further, we have 215 and Ernesto and Sam to the right, so they're really deviating away from the ideal line. We'll see how that plays out. This cloud that we've been talking about it, which still gives them a 3.0 lift, is disappearing, and I'm super amazed that they stuck up with it so long, but they did. Very nice, very nice. Anna Martin Güttler took off. I think like V8 found something. Doesn't it look like he's going up? Let me see what V8 does over there, my friend. He sure is. 3.8, 4.2, 2.8, 3. So he's saved. He's definitely going up. He's saving. Has saved his flight. Not giving up. That is good. Good news. Again, very risky, but he made it. Lucky him. But sometimes those risky flights, especially with those light clouds that we have today, can be a winner. I've seen some people do that, fly really low to the ground, find a good thermal, come up, and so they're spending less time finding thermals. They're just using one come up, fly long distance, one more come up, and fly long distance. That is a strategy that can work, but we'll see in a moment with Vitold and Timke flying to the next cloud how much advantage they have versus Victor 8. We don't know until. Look at that. Timke seemed to have found something turning left, and so is Vitold. So they think they found some blue thermal. It sure looks like it because there was no cloud above them. This is a blue thermal. Oh, there it is, a new cloud forming. Sweeto, strong clouds. When they begin like this, fuzzy, brand new, usually have some good juice in them. Sweeto, and they're going up nicely and strong, centering this thing right away. An average of 2.5 again, maybe a 3. Very nice. To be expected today with this kind of weather. And they make it happen. Boy, since I'm talking too much, I have to have a lot more water. And for all the newbies out there, this is a perfect example. If you're coming behind like JT, who is in the mid-range right now, he's following this and following the gaggle. Meaning he doesn't have to find himself. He just has to center it right now by following everyone else's lead and that makes it a bit more easier to learn. And I notice for myself when I'm flying in a gaggle, I actually ease a little bit. I'm actually becoming more relaxed, and I can center myself a bit better because I have variation points of the other planes, and it gives me a better idea where the center really is, and that is nice to see. You can fly wide turns or you can fly very steep turns. That depends on the thermal. Today, I believe it was a normal width, so it's not a wide width. It's a normal, small, medium width. So normal is medium, and we can see it right there. That cloud is carrying really nicely an average of 3. Timke, KMI, Vitold, Kuba, Stephen, Frank, Arne, Maya, Thomas. They're all in there right now and going up sweet. Tim, give me Victor 8 again. I want to see where he's at, how high he is at, and if he's still thermaling. He's only at 603 meters. His very strong, though. I'm surprised that he's so low. If he's not able to center it well, because it seems it's strong on one end and then weak on the other. He may have not found the center of this thermal and is suffering, meaning not going up really strong. That is a bummer, because he has a nice lead, and if you would find the center of this cloud, can you look from below to see where the cloud is from him? And there it is. Yeah. And now it's becoming weaker and weaker. He's flying way too fast, 150, 170. So another ingredients for thermaling well, is to fly slow. If you fly fast, if you fly 120, 130 kilometers per hour, you're spending a lot of speed and height to come up. So you want to slow it down between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour to coming up. Here we have Darius, number 215, thermaling at an average of 2, which is weaker than what we saw with the big gaggle, and his altitude is only at 729. So that is definitely a toughie right here. There is Dennis, the American, who's right now, I think, in 16th in the overall. Let me quickly look. Yeah, 16th in the overall. He's 1,140 meters up, doing his thing, basically in the lead the way it looks by distance. And yeah, nice for him to take the risk and lead the wolf pack. Let's see where he goes. And VA disconnected, so that's a bugger. So he possibly gave up. So goodbye, Victor 8. Nice to see you for a brief while. You had a chance, but who knows what happened? Maybe he disconnected from the server, still soaring with us seeing it. That's how it is. And we'll see. We're watching again 1,600 meters for Arne Martin Güttler. Very nice height. And he's probably as high as the rest of the crew. There to the left is Stefan coming in. SCR, Sierra Charlie Romeo. Flying a bit faster, I would say, than Arne Martin Güttler. And he's not slow. He's flying 215 kilometers per hour. That is not slow, but that's what it is. And there we see Dennis, 6 X-Ray Romeo, making a left turn into a thermal. He may have found something, but something that he might need because he is lower than everyone else. And the rest of the crew, I think, just flew right through it because they still have plenty of height. And so Timke seems to be the leading of the family right now with a good height. Let's see what happens. Where's my friend Antoine? I need a partner over here, actually over there. I wouldn't mind chatting with you guys. I'm going to take it. He's still eating, huh? So the comments on YouTube we have already seen. Yep, and nobody chatting with me on Twitch either. What is up, folks? Any comments? Any comments? Would love to hear from you. Please do. Dum. Stefan, I like to see Stefan, Sierra Charlie Romeo, the way he is definitely flying faster than most of them. It seems like it. And he's trying to catch up quickly. He's trying, yup, look at that. Speed of 243. He's flying a high Mach ready, I would say, to be able to do that, but he's trying to get that cloud that everybody's aiming for. And if you look to the left of it, there's a little bit of something happening next to it. So there might be two clouds building right now. Interesting, interesting. See if Timke or Vitold will pick one of those. They still have a decent height. Man, I like that little cloud that's developing right next to it. But Timke flew right through it, says not strong enough, not mine. Just do a bit of a dolphin action, pulling on the stick a little bit, slowing down, or not even, just going straight through and keeping the speed as it is. No, actually, Vitold actually slowed down, doing the dolphin move. So a bit of stick lift, a bit of stick altitude, slowing down, getting the lift, flying through the thermal a bit slower, meaning having more time in the lift. You can see Stefan is doing the same, and Cuba holding steady here. So they're flying to the next. This is a really beautiful view to see with the tails, how close they actually are. Really neat, and just flying to the next cloud. Ooh, look at that. Little up, a little down. It's amazing the speeds that these guys flying. From the view right now, it seems like they want to go to the big cloud to the right. That is the next target for them. And if you heard a bang, I just got a message realizing I didn't put my phone on silence. I apologize for that. So might as well do it now. Off they go. We have lots of people watching on YouTube. I really like to see that. And actually, the following button, the subscriber button, has gone up as well. So if you haven't subscribed yet, might as well subscribe. Boom, off you go. And so you'll know next time we're on live. That'd be nice. And Julianne is back, our friend. Hello, Norman. Good luck to all you guys in the air and on the ground, commentaries and backstage. So hello to Tim and Sebastian, as well as Antoine, and to myself. And I'm pretty sure Ben is somewhere watching, or he's in the air. He actually said he would be flying himself today. I opted out to fly in real life. Why I did that, I have no idea. Oh, I remember, because I wanted to be with you guys. I wanted to watch Timke and Vitold and all the other guys racing on the final day, rather me being out. And I sent actually to my crew today, I sent a picture of the cumulus clouds that are building early today. We already had some really nice cumulus around 10 a.m. in the morning, and it was predicted to be a strong day. But this cloud has gone really nicely. It's building a nice cap on top, a bit of a cauliflower look. And Timke is definitely higher than everyone else, which is a nice lead in this moment. Vitold right behind it, Stefan, Kuba, Frank, and X-Ray Romeo. I have to look up X-Ray Romeo. No, I have to know. Hold on. X-Ray Romeo. Where are you, my friend? I need your name. X-Ray Romeo. Redondo. It is Redondo. Why don't I see Redondo? It's Redondo. I believe he's Argentinian, if I remember correctly. And don't see him in the overall. But Timke decided he's at the top of the cloud, leaving the thermal. And Vitold says, nope, I'll take another turn. I want to get a bit higher. And so is the rest of the crowd. But Timke is having a nice lead. I would say probably right now about a 15 to 20 second, maybe 30-second lead. That is good. But as we've seen in the previous days, that can be gone in a flash. And so you never know how this is going to play out. Even though Timke is a very good pilot, and I would like to see him maybe in the top 3. That would be nice. But watch out for Timke once he goes into the mountains, when we have some bridge soaring, because that's where this guy is awesome. And look at the height that the rest of the crew is getting. They took 2 or 3 more turns, actually, before they took off. So Timke right now is about a minute ahead of them. That is pretty impressive. Wow. Zipcheck still in the turn on the bottom of that, so he's trailing behind the first of the front guys. The top 10 are right there, basically, and doing their thing. That cloud, look at that. There's the second cloud as I saw it, building right next to it. Super duper. Nice, nice, nice. Gotta love these kind of weathers. Averaging 3, sometimes 4. That's very strong. Now we have the rest of the guys coming in here, Dennis and the rest of the crew. 9A. Who is the heck is 9A? Is he a new pilot that I haven't talked to about? 9A is the Lithuanian Almantas. Suyos. Okay, he is that guy, Almantas. He's on the bottom of that. We have Gerd Botenhausen also on the bottom of this thermal. So they're trailing quite a bit. I guess they didn't have a really good thermal in the beginning. That's why they're trailing quite a bit. And the top pilot's already at the top of the cloud, not on top, on the baseline of the cloud. Following Timke, who definitely has quite a bit of a lead right now. And wonderful to watch, wonderful to see. Florida says, I think you and your team do great, Norman, with the live production. That's very viewer friendly. Yeah, of course. You know, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for you guys. So if we would be viewer unfriendly, I think this channel and the FAI would not be interested of doing this with us. So yes, Frodo, I appreciate that. And yes, this is what we're all about. We're here to please, and lots of viewers to come. So like, subscribe, and if possible, even share. Share it with your club, share it with your people, put it out there. As more viewers that we have, as more likes and subscribes we have, the algorithm of YouTube works that way. This is basically the growth for us, and hopefully we will build it up so we have lots of viewers, thousands of views. That would be awesome. Maybe even 10,000 of views. That would be awesome, super awesome. But we're in the beginning of this, in the second World Championship, the second attempt to create a beautiful virtual gliding competition for you guys in the GP. And there is a new cloud building right there. Timke didn't take that, but the rest of the crew is taking it. So Timke took the risk of flying early and did not get the lucky cloud right there. And if you look at Thomas Meyer, trying to center the cloud right now. Not there. He's not even there yet, but the rest of the crowd is there. Wow, this is a strong thermal the way it looks. And it's brand new. Again, those little brand new clouds usually have the best lift for you. And stay high at this time because of the few clouds that we have. I think staying high is key. So if you do a few turns, and since it's still a brand new cloud, you actually might be able to get above it, as a matter of fact. You can fly through it because it's not so dense yet, and you get even higher as normal. So if you click on Vitold, if you don't mind, I want to see his height right now. Or Kjup, Kuba. What are their heights right now? I would love to see that. The height of Vitold or Kuba. So 1608. And where's Timke in this picture? What is Timke doing? 1301. And he's flying past that cloud too. He didn't take it. But he still has 300 meters ahead and hasn't turned anywhere. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hopefully you get as lucky as the guys behind you finding these brand new clouds. It looks like there's one to the left maybe building, or these high cirrus. And there's one to the right maybe building. Sometimes it's really, really hard to see that developing new cloud, and sometimes you have to just be the lucky guy. And look at that, he found something. There is a bit of a lift, not strong enough. Not strong enough, he didn't take it. Oop. So the wolves are behind it, right here. The 5 wolves, I call them right now. KMI, Stefan, Arne, Kuba, and Vitold are on the hunt to hunt down Timke. And let's see how it plays out. And KMI is Mihaly. I have to remember that name, Mihaly, which is KMI. He's coming close to turn point 2 right now. And if I remember correctly, after that, we have cross and tailwind, correct? Or is it cross and headwind? Boy, I have to look at the task to see, to remember. I don't remember it. Tim, do you know if it's going to be headwind or crosswind coming up? Okay. Tim doesn't know either. Anyone on YouTube or on Twitch can tell me at turn point 2 if we're going to have cross tailwind or cross headwind. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was from 3 to 4 was cross headwind, and 2 to 3 would be cross tailwind, I believe. But if somebody has the answer, looking for it, give it to me, please. So none of the guys decided to turn, or Arne Martin Güttler actually decided to turn, just taking a couple extra sniffs on this cloud. He's close to cloud base already. For just one turn, boom. And the answer is, I heard something. The answer is, somebody just pinged me. And I don't know where it is. So here we go. Tim Mutson finally found a thermal, or was he just hoping it was a thermal? I don't see no cloud. I don't see no lift. Only a little bit of scraping around. That ain't strong enough. Ooh. Look at this strong lift that these guys get. Look at this. Lucky Luke again. Lucky Luke, be told, found another brand new cloud developing right there. Wow. Timke, that is bad luck for you and great luck for the wolves behind it. Look at Cuba going like berserker on this thermal. That is a close thermal. Wow. So lucky them and bad luck for Timke. That is not getting that same lift or that same cloud. It doesn't look like it. Or he didn't center it right. He just got the outside lift of it. Hard to tell from this angle. But Victor Romeo Victor is going up, up, and up and leaving Timke in the dusk. Oh, that's a bummer. Timke stands for Tim Kiel, because you can see how fast they're going up right now. Super duper. There's Arne coming from behind, following the other peeps. So he's right now in 5th or 6th place, being followed by Oscar 9, which is Frank and Thomas Meyer. And Vitold already left that because the cloud is building really fast, and you don't want to be collecting extra minus points, penalty points for flying into the cloud. Like Cuba looks like it could easily get some penalty points right there. Timke left because it's not a strong thermal he has there. I don't think he does. He has something, but it's not strong. So, but he's taking it right now. But he's no longer in 1st, that is for sure. Same height as Vitold, but further to the left. So probably a couple of kilometers behind it. But he's taking it. Can we click on Timke to see what his lift rate is, please? And the lift rate is 1.2, 2.5, 3.5. So he got something. Oh, no, finally is getting some good lift here. The build, but it's the thermal doesn't seem to be really centered because it's thrown off a little bit. But he's catching height. He is not 1,600 meters, quite strong. Vitold just passed through turn point 3 and making a right turn. So is Cuba. Turning right now. Bam. And off they go. Or they're making a left turn. I keep thinking it's to the right for some odd reason. I am turned around for some bizarre reason. They're flying basically back towards that cloud to possibly take another sniff at it and come back up. So that's probably what is happening right here. So Mihaly just passed as well. And then we have Stefan who passing, Frank right behind it. Really nice. Ronaldo also turning right now. Yep, yep, yep. And then Tim Mutson, finally, he was in the lead no longer. He's now in seventh or eighth. Thomas is going through as well, slightly higher the way it looks. And they seem to be going back to that cloud that they have because it was so nice and strong. I guess, as I said, they're taking another sniff at it. Another couple of extra meters before they're now flying towards turn point 3. That is the key. Turn point 3. Tja. Doing this by yourself, there we see it right now, 83 kilometers per hour. Gives you a good idea how that they have flown. Yep, it gives you an idea. That's the distance they have flown, the overall distance. And I decided to go back to the task for today. And yes, we were flying to turn point 2 with the tail crosswind. And now we're flying to turn point 3, which is the head crosswind. And remember, we have 40 kilometers headwind. So the first part was really fast. The second part will be definitely slower. And you want to try to stay to the left of the yellow line because the wind is going to try to push you backwards and sideways away from it. So stay to the left of the yellow line towards turn point 3, the longest leg. And that's what we see in this one. Right, now we have it back. Okay, now I was confused. We made left, left, and then it's right, right. Okay, thank you. Now I figured it out. I had to go back into the task to see that. And really, I can see the technique of Witold, which is really interesting to watch. He's basically taken almost every cloud that comes his way. He takes always a couple of turns if they're strong, and to stay high and fly fast. Stay high, fly fast, which I think to be a really good option. And it seems like as the day progresses, the thermals in itself becoming stronger, so they're developing nicely with a bit higher average speed. Ernesto, is he flying that far forward? Can we go back to that screen where it tells me how many kilometers he has flown? Because he looks like he's way ahead. Could it be? Or is he just really far behind? I don't see an EMD. He's not. He's far behind Ernesto. Oh, he took that left turn in the beginning, weaving off of his strategy, and boy, he's paying for it now. So compared to Frank and all the other guys who have flown 88 kilometers, he only has flown 65 kilometers. That is 20, 25 kilometers behind. That is huge. That's a huge loss. That's a bugger. But so it is. That's what you do when you take the risk. Sometimes it pays off, and in many cases it doesn't. Let me quickly take a look at YouTube. Nobody's talking to me there. Yoo-hoo! And nobody's talking on Twitch either with me. And if you see I am Wind Whisperer on Twitch. You see me as Wind Whisperer. That is my call name, Whiskey 1, the Wind Whisperer. And my real name, as you all know, is Norman. Yeah, Norman it is. And people ask me, why did I choose Wind Whisperer? I'm coming from the virtual sailing community. I used to sail in real life here in the Sarasota Bay, where I'm from in Florida. We used to sail trimarans and catamarans and monohulls. And when the virtual sailing came about, I choose Wind Whisperer. That was my call name since 2018 or 2019, 18. And we used to sail a lot, and that was fun. But then I went from sailing to soaring. So, from the water to the wind and the air. Both have to do with wind, but now we're in the air and purely enjoying this time. Really, really nice. Sometimes I have to just let you be with the picture and the awesome regie in the background with Tim, who's giving these awesome views of this race. Very nice to see Frank in the lead, finding a nice thermal right there. Super duper. He came in second yesterday on the podium, and he was really stoked about that. I know he was. He just dealt with COVID. He's just coming out of it. So very impressive. Now we see that Witold and Arne Martin Güttler are definitely in the lead, closely followed by Stefan, Kuba, Thomas, Frank. They're all right there with them. So the top six, top five are right there. Nice, nice, nice. And again, they're staying high. They are not taking the risk of falling off, because you can see what happens to the other guys who took the risk. One disappeared off the screen completely. That was Victor 8. And the other one was, we just looked at him, Ernesto, who did not benefit from that at all. So everybody else is following. We have Harvey right there in 8 kilo coming down below. They still have to catch up with the height. But once you're behind like this and only so many few options, it's tough to gain unless you take some serious risks. But if you see Cuba right now and averaging between 2.5 and 3, that's a nice average. That's a cloud that you will never be faster, because that's basically the max rising that you can have. Somebody just knocked on my door. I have no idea who that is, but somebody knocked on my door. Can't open, folks. Sorry. Cristiano Conrado. I'm streaming the race from my cockpit, and he sent me a link. That's on Twitch. Cristiano Conrado. Who is Cristiano? What's your call name? Cristiano Conrado. So if you want to live stream off the cockpit, I'm pretty sure we have Tim Keel, Tim Keel, who always streams live. I don't know if Tim has set this up or not today, but yeah. And Tim is always behind. Got my back covered. Cristiano Moreira, Brazilian. Is that who you're talking about? No, don't know. No, oops, oopsie doops. Here we go. Timke is still in the thermal or having something good, and looking at it, he's still going up, up and up. He has a decent height of 1,636 meters. So he's almost like just zeroing it out. Like, wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. But then he's losing 1.5 meters per second right now, so his average going down. Okay, he was just thermaling. He's just left the thermal. He's a bit behind, considering he was in the lead earlier, but he took that risk and chose a weaker thermal than everyone else. That's why Tim Kielstrup is behind. And it's a very nice view for us to see that. Beautiful. There's a cloud on the right and clouds up front. So I guess you want to stay to the left. You can see the red dot on his PDA is to the right. That means he's trying to stay on the left side of the straight line to turn point 3. And the reason why, as I explained it to you earlier, that the wind while you're thermaling is going to push you backwards and sideways to the right. And so your goal is always to stay to the right, to the left of the line. So a perfect example where we at. Here we are seeing again the top guys catching the next cloud. Again, they're still 1,500 meter up, and they're still taking it. I find this an interesting strategy, I have to say. I've never seen it like this, and maybe I'm learning something here. because that is very impressive to see. So Frode writes, is the speed we see in the graphics ground speed? It varies a lot during thermals. Yes, it is the ground speed. We are looking at ground speeds. Yes, 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 absolutely. And during thermal flying, when you are thermaling, um, if you ever experienced it, it changes. It changes a lot sometimes because the thermal lift tries to bring you down and it makes you sink. At the same time as it wants to sink, it wants you to speed up. So when you're in the thermal, you're automatically speeding up because how the thermal works. And so you have to trim your plane, your glider perfectly so you fly at minimum sink speed while you're at 15 degrees or 25 degrees or 35 degrees angle or up to 45 degrees if you do a steep turn. But you want to fly fairly slow. And especially since we're having head and tail winds, when we're flying 40 kilometers, a quarter of us flying, we're flying 40 kilometers into the wind, then 40 kilometers crosswind, then 40 kilometers tailwind, and then back to crosswind. And so there's a lot of speed difference happening constantly in the because we have all this wind coming from all directions while you're thermaling. That's why this changes a lot. At least that's how I would describe it scientifically. Am I right? Huh, not quite sure. I think I am. I think I am. So I wouldn't mind hearing from you guys. Where are you all from? YouTubers and Twitchers. Type to me. Tell me, where are you from? Are you from what? What? Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Poland, US, Germany, France, Italy? Come on, give me some updates here. I would love to know, would love to see, love to hear where you're all from. It'd be nice to have that information just to give it out. And so we all know where you are. Since we are virtual, as we know, we can be anywhere in the world and following this incredible race. Last day, the seventh day of the virtual soaring Grand Prix, live here in Boras, Sweden. And we're looking at that cloud again. And let's see if anybody else takes it. It looks like Stefan decided to fly through it this time. She's like, you know what? I had enough of this therming so close to the cloud base. And it might not be such a strong thermal or cloud because it looks pretty flat. But off they go. There's a new cloud developing over there. If you stay right here, Tim, there's a new cloud developing. You can see it right in front of Anna Martin Güttler and Stefan. There's a new one building, and I have a feeling they're going to go for that. And that cloud might be because it's already becoming, has a nice little head on the top. It's building fast. It looks higher than most of the other clouds. So we go. One fly is from North Carolina, USA. Hey, neighbor, nice to have you on board. Our North Carolina friend. We have Frode from Norway. Thank you for that. We have Julien from Belgium. That is so cool, guys. Northern Europe, Central Europe, and then we have the Northeast of America, North Carolina. Sweeto. Love North Carolina. The really nice flying over there, especially in the Blue Ridge Mountain area. Some great soaring going on in those areas. So who knows where you're at, my friend? Are you closer to the Tennessee border, or are you closer central like Asheville, or are you more to the coastline? Who knows where you are? And then let's see what Twitch is saying. Ah, look at that. We are Cristiano Silva Conrado Morera. Okay, so I see is CON. He has also a live stream. His call name is Charlie Oscar November, and he is from Brazil. Brazil. So here we are. Now we're already in 3 continents. Love that. You know, all over the world. Here we are flying for the World Championship. What else is up? Thank you for that, guys. Repeat that, please, Tim. I still didn't get that.
Hello, guys. Hey, good evening. We're here from Boras here, Sweden. Everything goes very well. We are very, very late on schedule in Boras.
Hold up. We are on time. You are very late. Right.
Indeed. So very late. We'll have Stefan Langer coming next to me in like 5 to 10 minutes probably, and then Max Maslak as well. So some German pilots coming tonight. We have been following the live. There's been a big, a huge screen there next to me in the big room where everyone is eating at the moment, and they had some issues with the cooking of basically they had some issues, so it was delayed quite a lot, the main course and so on. So now it's all good.
Smørrebrød, didn't happen or what?
It's all good. We are here and we are ready, and we have really closely followed the race. Stefan was just next to me when we were eating, so we just watched all of this, and we watched you, Norman, like commenting the race and so on. It was really great to watch. So thanks a lot for what you've done so far. Let's get back to Condor.
Let's put us both on the screen while we're watching the live. That would be awesome. Have Ben, having Antoine and myself on the. Hey, look at that! Ooh, I love it. I am no longer alone. Yeah. Not that I ever was, but we can still see that Witold is holding his own thing with the idea of staying high, flying fast, staying high. I mean, it is what is, and it works. And we have a couple of other guys up front. You can see Anna-Martin Güttler and Timke and Frank taking the chance of finding a good thermal up front. But Witold sticks to his guns and sticks to his theory of staying high. And, he is one of the leaders of the board, so can't go wrong there. And it's something I've never tried for myself when I was flying or racing in the competition. I was more like the risk taker, like most of them. But Witold may be teaching me something right here. A really good nugget to recognize. So what was for dinner, my friend? What was for dinner?
Oh, it was really good. Some chicken, potatoes, and some dessert from Sweden. So everyone really enjoyed it. It was really nice. And we followed just the race, and we saw we are approaching turn point 3 soon. They've flown more than 100K so far, so the race is going well. We did already some calculations, what's the average speed and so on. So we're like, okay, they are flying a bit faster than what happened today in real life. Actually, in real life, the ceiling was maybe a bit lower, but there were more clouds. And we had an amazing race today, amazing race. So Stefan Langer, he won the day, and he was leading the race for quite some time. He will tell you what he's been through today, but it was really amazing. And we saw as well the leader of the Sailplane Grand Prix before today, who really missed his day and his race, which does not happen often. But still, he has made it to second place, and will go to Pavulo in 2023 for the World Final. So that's close, Canbach. It was really, really nice to fly. And as well, I've had to manage the JAR event in Poland. They've had a real nice task in Poland today, 377 kilometers there. Very nice weather for the first official training day, and tomorrow the event starts in JAR. And by the way, we are not sure. So far, we didn't plan to do any live streaming. Maybe we'll do 1, 2, or 3 live streaming during the next week for the event in Poland. But we are not sure about it yet because we were not already ready to do the live streaming in Boras. But it will come, and everything will get better and better after the first live streamings. But we needed to set up everything. It's still not ready. Everything is not ready yet, but we still wanted to do some live streamings because we really like to do it, and it's a good promotion of gliding. and everyone loves watching it. And there are really 50 people eating and just watching the virtual gliding next to me. So it's really great, actually. So yeah. And thanks, Norman, again for the great animation you've
I'm
done.
holding my fingers crossed right here and thinking, well, we might see some racing on them from Tsar, Poland.
Oh yeah,
I would
I
love to
think we
do
will
that.
do that.
We'll find out how it's going to work out. We know it takes a family to create this. It takes a family to make this happen, and so if one of the family members is not available for whatever reason, then it becomes more difficult. And we'll hope to solve this and make it happen. And if it does happen, you're the first to know because we'll be talking to you and trying to click and so like and subscribe and do all this stuff. So we're growing. We would love to get the FAI family to grow and stream as much as possible, so we can bring to you this incredible sport, which is an esport. Virtual soaring is an esport. And if you don't believe us, if you've never done this, I would like you to invite you to try this and fly for a couple of hours, 3 or 4 hours, and bam, you get overwhelmed and you're tired and you're ready to go to bed. And then I see Stefan Langer showing up here. Our Congratulations, Stefan, for your win today in Boras. Wow.
Thank you so much. It was a fun race today.
Oh, this is awesome. Stefan, welcome to our club here. Welcome to our stream. I've seen you in the past sitting with Antoine and talking about the events that are happening. And we had the test event last month and you were talking about it and you were streaming. That was really lovely of you. But I have not had the chance to sit next to you. And big fan, got to give it to you. Great job in the real world flying. Great job on YouTube with all your incredible inspirational videos that you bring to all of us, showing us what's real, showing what's possible, and the beauty of soaring, the enthusiasm that you bring on the screen is so superb. And thank you for making a really nice program for all of us to be inspired. And one of the reasons why I'm here is because of you. Literally, it's literally because of that. So great job, and I'm really happy to have you here. So let's talk about Boras. What happened?
Oh, yeah, it was a great competition here. Today was difficult because of the wind. We had 45 kilometers an hour wind speed, and but it was fun today because I was able to fly without the others most of the time, so I could do whatever I wanted to do, and thermal not in a gaggle. That's not what I like the most, so it was great. And the final glide was really challenging with the others because they were slightly higher, 1.5 kilometers behind me, some of them. And I was so glad that I found a better line and had more energy at the end to finish first. But it was a really tough race then. But
I can only imagine. So me being just starting to be a real glider pilot again, I'm working on my license and all. I have a question for you. Taking off at 40 knots of 40 kilometers of wind, how is that behind a tow plane?
It's not so bad, especially if the wind is directly from the front. Today we had a little bit of a crosswind. It's not so difficult, I would say. It's more difficult to stay in the air, to get to the start line. That was a big problem today. The cloud base was only about 1,200 meters, so not at, or 1,200 meters was the maximum start altitude as well. So yeah. And then, of course, on the legs, to the turn points, with the headwind, was tough.
So during the 2.5 hour flight that you have, did you have any moments where you felt like, oh gosh, I'm not going to make it? Or
yeah, today I was alone somewhere and I didn't find any thermal, and there I had a proper look on the ground where I can land and so on. The clouds were a little bit spread out, so it was not so easy to find the lifts or to know, and there was no one else around, so I needed to find something, and I was so lucky to find decent lift. It was about, I think, 2 meters per second. It was not as good as the thermals before, but at the end, I was so lucky and happy. And perhaps I will upload a video with with the GoPro where I was shouting that I was so happy that I found this lift, because otherwise I would have landed out. And
Right, but here you are. You won the final day, and you won the overall in Boras. So congratulations for that. And that means you are qualified officially for the 2023 Italian World Championship. Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. And it's in Pavullo in Italy, the finals, where I already flew the first e-glide competition. And one of my videos, or that's the most famous video of gliding on YouTube with 23 million views or so. And the traffic pattern only flying there.
It's crazy.
But I
it
should
went
take
viral for a traffic pattern under the rain.
Yeah.
Flying an LS8, that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
We love it.
But yeah, that's how it is. It's the YouTube algorithm, and it's a lot of luck. And yeah, but perhaps I will take care the next time not to fly too close to the buildings, because I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Yeah,
You got permission, absolutely right. So since you're qualified, will you still participate in any of the other races, qualifier races, or not?
Good question. Last night, I was planning somehow to go to South Africa as well during winter to fly the Sailplane Grand Prix, and I was planning to go to Bosnia and Herzegovina again in August. I'm not sure. I was not thinking that I will win here or will get qualified. So I need to make new plans tomorrow or when I'm back home.
Okay.
But it is really fun to fly these Grand Prix, and also in other countries. So it is not about only competing and being qualified. It's about the event, about the landscape, about the
discovering new areas, new countries. It's really amazing.
It's also good to have some more practice in Grand Prix flying, because I'm not really the pilot who follows the rules of Sailplane Grand Prix, how to follow the others in the gaggle and so on. I'm more the individual pilot who tries to fly on his own, and to be good at the finals. It is also important to
be able to do both, find your own and just stay sometimes with the gaggle. And today it was the last race where you need to win, but at the same time it's very difficult to take so much risk, because Stefan was third this morning, and actually the leader of the race was really not in a good day, and he was losing. He was really at the back of the race. So Stefan could just have stayed with the gaggle to secure the place today, but in the end, he really flew on his own, and he took quite some risk today, and he could have just ended up at the back of the race as well if he had just fall down too much. So it was really not easy with that win. So it was really impressive and a great flight from him today, and obviously really deserved the race and the win today. Honestly, if we had, in Formula One, they do a pilot of the day to thank the guy who did the most amazing things during the race, and it was for sure Stefan today. And with this, he won as well. So it's really great. Yeah, he deserved it without any problem.
Thank you. And here on Condor, between these lakes, I was also flying today, and there I was not sure if the lakes will affect the thermals and so on. And I was really lucky to get somewhere around this point where what we see now on the screen to find a good thermal, and was really high and could past the lakes and so on. It's cool to see here.
Brings memories, doesn't it? Like, I just been there, and I was much lower, but good. You just said while you were sharing your experience, and that you are a pilot that is not following the GP rules by following the others. Winners are usually not followers. They're usually leading the race in some ways or another. And if I look at the overall world scoring that's happening on the FAI, right now you're in 33rd place with the club class. Did you know that?
Yes, something about 30, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you went up 7 points. You're in 33rd place right now, and I looked it all up, and I was surprised that your C is so far low. But maybe you haven't flown as many scoring contests for the FAA this time, and now with your win, maybe more come up, huh?
Yeah, not sure. The,
The
the international ranking is really, really hard to be there on
at
top
the
level.
top. Yeah,
And
it's difficult already to understand how it's made, that ranking, and it's not easy to get to the top. And actually, you need to do world events every year to be able to be at the top, and you need to perform very well in those world events. And it's really, really difficult to get really to the top. And already, in being in the top 100 is already something, actually. And yeah, 33rd place is really, really good, indeed. And the more you fly events, and the more you get points as well. So it's a mix between flying the events, having good performances, and flying the best events like world or European or continental events. So
Yeah. I'm going to put a shout out to all you YouTubers and Twitchers out there. If you have any questions for Stefan or Antoine, please write us quickly now so we can actually put them on and ask these questions. And while we're at it, Tim, can you please give us the left score to see what the distance are right now and where we're at? Because we haven't really paid attention for the last 15 minutes to the score. So Tim, can you,
sorry.
no, don't be sorry. No, this is great information for everyone that's watching. The stream is there, so everybody can see what's happening. But here we can see that Tim Kielsen is in first place by distance flown, and he is right now only 888 meters up. So he is definitely looking for something. And Vitold, as we can see, who's in third right now, with only 4 kilometers less, is definitely higher. He is at 1450, 1500 almost. That is 700 meters more. So Vitold is definitely leading this race right now, unless 8 kilo is better, but he looks like he's lower. He looks like he's definitely lower. So Vitold is making what he's supposed to do. He's leading the race in his style, staying up high, taking every lift that he can get. And especially even with the headwind that he has right now, he has a head crosswind. He's staying at, but you can also see, if you look at the top, you see the yellow line, and the yellow line is to your left right now. That means they're already. Oh no, okay, I'm sorry, take it back. We need to look at the turn point 3, and Vitold is staying true to the yellow line, slightly left to it. That means he's staying on the windward side of it, which is the best thing you can do, because if you start drifting to the right, you going away from the turn point, and you have to fly even heavier towards the headwind. So Vitold is showing us perfectly how it's done in the proper way. Stay high, stay to the left of the yellow line. Perfect.
And Norman, we can see there are not a lot of cumuluses to get then to turn point 3. Do you know what the wind speed and direction is?
The wind speed is 40 kilometers, and it's coming from 296 degrees.
So it's the same as in real life, because I wasn't sure. I thought it would be like 30 or so, but 40 was what they had today, and it was really difficult on the upwind legs. Yeah, really difficult.
I could imagine. I mean, 40 kilometers against you, that means you're slowing down tremendously. I can only imagine you have lots of turbulences as well, no?
Yes. Today was not so easy. Also, if you get into a thermal, you think, this thermal has 5 meters, and then on the other half of the turn, it's just 0 or something. It was not easy, and I was so happy that I was flying alone and could thermal really narrow. That's really important at these turbulence air and so on. Yeah.
So you're flying a very narrow thermal when you're flying with high winds. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I would say, yeah. But
that's good to know. I mean, I prefer flying thermal when I fly on my own club over here. Again, I'm a newbie. I just picked this back up. I used to fly like most of you guys when I was 14 to 16. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the curves of a woman and the discotheques, the clubs and the music were appealing as a beautiful shape of a bird or a glider. And so I left it. But then many, many years later, basically a half a year ago, I started to pick it back up. And I've noticed that when I fly in thermal, I usually try to fly very narrow turns, whereas my instructor, who used to actually fly and coach the Czechoslovakians. He flies more gentle turns and very slow. He's very good at it. But I like this going.
Yeah, the G's, the acceleration and so on. And I really prefer the LS3 there because I can thermal so narrow. The diameter or the radius of the thermal is really, really small compared to a heavy ASG29 with water ballast and so on. And it feels like you're turning around the thermal, but with LS3, it's like you are in the inside, in the core of the thermal.
Okay. That's
very fun.
Yes. You're at the center of the thermal with the strongest lift, and you're just taking it.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Take it. Right on. That is nice. So how are the other peeps out there? How was the entire week for you? How are the people in Boras? How's the event, the clubhouse, and the accommodation?
It's really amazing here. It's great that the clubhouse is big. It's warm in here. We had not such a good weather the last days, so it was raining. It was great to have the infrastructure around here to stay in the clubhouse. Also, the dinner was here great always, and we had a great time. It's 4 days of not flying. I had also some time for video editing, but not too much at the end. I've only published, I think, 2 videos or so.
But great videos are coming. I can tell you, I saw some of the footage, guys. It will be really nice.
Yeah. Especially the landing and so on. Yeah, it was fantastic here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really happy that I was here, that I am here. And it was my second time. So I was here 4 years ago, and it was such a cool event that I said I must come back here and fly. So
I heard you won a trophy or something like this for the winner. Is that it?
Something like we have here
exactly this.
It looks like this, but it is not really the trophy of the competition. It's just from the city.
It's a trophy from the city. Yeah. It's in bronze or something like this. It's like quite heavy, actually.
Really heavy.
Yeah. So you got one.
I got one.
And the winner of the virtual gliding event will get one as well.
That's cool.
Actually. So that's really cool. So there's really a parallel between real and virtual gliding on this event. So that's really cool. So that's Kjell Folkesson, the director of the Sailplane Grand Prix here in Sweden. We will send that prize to the winner of the virtual gliding, guys.
For the day's race, for day 7, or for the overall?
For the overall results, yeah.
Okay, overall winner, he's going to get the bronze mascot of Boras town.
Yeah, and I can tell you it's very heavy.
Yeah.
It's very heavy, guys.
Shipping costs will be huge.
Yeah, the shipping costs will be expensive. That's why it's Kjell Folkesson who is sending it, not us.
Interesting. So if we play the game Clue, if you might have heard about the game Clue, who killed the woman in the bathroom with the
That's Cluedo.
Cluedo. I'm sorry. Yes, that's it. Just kidding, guys. That is not funny at all. So, it's another,
And there is an actual description of what it is that the winner will be able to read, and it's called The Peddler. And it's the story of the famous Boras peddler origin from the Middle Ages and a growing handicraft of turned and forged items. The goods were sold in an itinerant trade. This was clearly banned, but hard to penalize. And basically, they are like quite some lines to read to explain what it is. But basically, it was a guy in Boras selling stuff, and so on.
Well, he's a peddler. So a peddler is somebody who travels from A to B and connects towns and possibly brings goods and goodies to the town, and also not just goods, but also information, knowledge. And in the medieval times, things were slightly different. We're talking 1,000 years ago, 1,200 years ago, and peddlers were the travelers, like the monks used to be, and so I can see that being a very important person that possibly brought some wealth to the town. Yeah, I can see it that way.
I think so. A good explanation. Thanks for that, because we were not able to explain that. You see, I told you,
Perfect.
Norman is a great guy.
Yeah.
He's really good at commentating and saying
Yes.
things, explaining things. Great guy.
It must be my intuition. I tune right into that pendler, and I'm good. Right. So don't believe everything I say, because sometimes I just make it up.
That was not made up.
No.
And
Anyway,
the pilots are nearly approaching the turn point already, or?
Yeah, I think that's turn point 3, and then we have turn point 4, then to the right.
And here it would be important. It's okay. So they have still a lot to fly.
Yeah, they still have some
Yeah.
kilometers to fly, like 10 kilometers, something like this.
So here I made my mistake today that I was not thermaling up to the cloud base before this turn point, because I thought the leg after the turn point is more into the wind.
Yeah.
But afterwards it was so difficult to find another thermal, and then I really nearly messed up and nearly made an out landing. So
that's where you found the good lift in the 2 meters or something like this.
Yeah. That was. And if I would have had 100 or 200 meters more there, then the cloud base was higher, and it would have been much more easy and better.
So we can see again the tactic of Witold. He is staying high by all means necessary. He's staying high. He's always between 1,300 and 1,600 meters, and it seems like as later the day comes, they might even go slightly higher, because he's not at the cloud base yet. So he might go even up to 1,700 meters, because we're coming later into the afternoon, and usually the cloud base goes up, and up till about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, where it then starts to disintegrate again, become less. But he's taken it. Look at that, 1,700 meters almost. He is definitely leading the race. Maybe not by distance, but definitely by height. And everyone else is possibly taking the same risk and chance that you did, Stefan, flying to turn point 3, hoping for more tailwind, and see how it plays out. So far, everybody who has taken the lead by flying lower has not
Been
taken
able to keep it.
They lost, right? But right now we think Kilo Juliet Kuba, he's a very strong pilot. He has shown himself in the last 3 races that I've been commentating on it, always in the top 5, and super good guy, very impressive, and he is taking his chance right now. He's 1,100 meters, almost 1,000. It's going to turn in a second here. Right below him is Arne Martin Güttler, and he is right now in the lead of the overall, which will change or may not change today, depending on how good these guys are. And if you, as you know, flying too low under the start, over the finish line, game over, 0 points. That is just something you don't do. And here we go. I think Antoine explains right now what happened.
Yeah, to Witold. So I said, yesterday Witold he tried to, he pushed too hard, because there is no penalties between the mandatory pointing point and finish line. So what we are doing now is we have the finish line above 350 meters. So if they push below, they can, but then they can pull up. Yeah. But if you don't have enough energy and you don't go up to 350, you don't finish the race. Okay. So it's done for you. Yeah. And one of the leaders yesterday, Witold, who is here on the screen, he pushed too hard, and I don't know why, because he's really good and knows what to do. He pushed too hard and he didn't make it, and he tried to pull and no.
And then there are no penalty seconds, so I can red light.
So they just don't have penalties now, because we're working with Condor.club, which is a website for scoring on Condor and so on. And you need the flight to be completed so that they can be scored. So we have 2 options. Either we keep 350 meters and they can have the PDA working properly, so they can plan their arrival in advance and it works. Mm-hmm. Or we go down to 0 meters, but a lot of people will get penalty, because they will all end up to 0 meters, because they will not understand that they need to be at 350 meters, because they all rely on what Condor is showing. Yeah, okay. And then, plenty of them got penalties, but they will get scored. And if they are below, they get penalties. So we prefer to tell them, you need to be at 350, and if you miss, it's out. and then we assure and we make sure that it's good for safety, or we go down to 0 meters, and then it can be a bit of a mess, and plenty of people have penalty. So we will see what we do. That's the first event. There are going to be 10 events. We have the chance to be able to adapt the rules if it doesn't match what the pilots want in virtual gliding. So we will see the feedback that we have from the pilots. So far, we are doing the things like this. Yeah.
So we just saw Vitold turning on turn point 3, and as soon as he turned, and all of a sudden he caught the tailwind, his speed is now at 210 kilometers per hour, whereas before he was flying around 270, 280. So you can see the difference. As soon as you turn, tailwinds come in your happy tail. Woohoo! And so now the next turn, and we're looking at clouds already. We see Cuba right there, thermaling already. And let's see if his tactic played out, or if Vitold was the way to go, staying high even with the headwind. We'll find out in 10, 20, 30 seconds. We'll find it out. We'll see it. We'll see if Cuba is going up as fast as he hopes, gaining the distance that he hopes. And the answer is no. Nope. Because Vitold is flying 210. If he's turning, he's going to get probably another 100 meters in stick thermal, pulling on it, going up. And yeah, he's definitely beyond everyone else. So there you can see it. He's pulling up nice and strong, 11, 12 meters, turning to the left, going back up to 1,600 meters, and probably is already 100 meters above Cuba. And that means he's leading by probably 400 or 500 meters. At least, if not more.
Not bad.
We see KMI in the distance over there. He's trying something different. He's trying to fly his own flight, just like Stefan did, and may or may not get lucky. We don't know. We'll find out. Again, we cannot predict anything. This game is not over until the fat lady sings. That's the key. And
yes.
As we thought yesterday, Vitold won, came in 4th place or 5th place, and then 0 points until. We don't know. Penalty points, stuff like this, only when everything is done. When the committee says it's done, it's scored, and this is the final, that's when we know. Until then, we don't know. Especially while we're still flying, we have no clue. None. And we have also the other time zones that are still to come to fly in later times, and they could fly faster. And then maybe watching the stream right now to get a better idea and say, well, maybe I do what we told it, and all of a sudden they're faster because they're going to fly this exact same task with the exact same clouds. So they know I'm not taking that first cloud because it sucked, or I'm not turning to the left or to the right because it didn't work out for the other guy. So they can learn from this while we're streaming it. Is it fair?
We will see.
It is what it is. I'm not going to withhold this beautiful flying from you guys while we're doing it live, for sure.
Yeah. You know what we're seeing now on the screen? It's that they have 3 clouds now, but to go to turn point 4, they don't have so much clouds. So it's going to be quite difficult for them.
Yeah, okay.
Some clouds, but not so much. But still, it's better than what we thought it was.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was blue. And okay, thank you, Tim. And can we get the average speed, Timothée, please, so we can try to find out what's the average speed compared to the real life today? 119.4 kph for KMI, but it's quite low. Same for Oscar 9 and the leading group. So we should watch 116 kph for Vitold Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. That's not bad. So Stefan, he completed the task at 107.
Yeah, something around 107 or 109.
Yeah, 109 kilometers per hour. So now they are tailwind, and there will be headwind to come back. Yeah. So we can expect.
It's a very short. It's not a long headwind. It's a very short one before they turn to the finish. So and the average right now, Vitold is behind them but he's higher than everyone else. So now where he's flying again towards turn point 4, his average speed is going to pop up, and it's going to go over Thomas Meyer. It's going to go over KMI because he's just higher. That's his advantage, and he keeps his advantage. And look at that, it's going up again, 69. That's almost 17 right now. There it is, 17, and he's passing the two right there in a moment. So he's definitely boom, boom, boom. It goes seconds, and all of a sudden the average is higher. So height is key to this game right now, to this wonderful qualification.
Move the race. Oh, is there? Do you have a USB-C charger for the front?
Well, so while these two guys figure it out, what's happening, I haven't seen any comments from my YouTube friends. Here we go. One Flow says, one fly, VW, US time zones here, making mental notes of the tactics. So that means one fly, you'll be flying later on, I would think. I would hear. What is your call name at the...
In Condor, tell us.
What is your call name in Condor, one fly? I would love to hear it. And I would make the same. If I'll be flying later, I'll be taking mental notes for sure, and or let the video stream right next to it while I'm flying.
That's what some people do, huh?
Yeah, some people just stream what they see and know what's best. So I know these are unfair tricks.
What can we do against it? That's what I say.
You can fly later if you like. If you want to take the tricks home, you can fly the later time zone. And I was thinking, Antoine, and this is an idea that I have in regards to, here we are, we're flying at 6:30 or 18:30 UTC time.
Yeah.
To start the stream and the flight and the thing is, but let's say if the qualification happens in Argentina or in Australia, I think that the main time should be their UTC time. Time.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And we talked about it a bit with the South American pilots already. So we need to figure out what should be the live streaming time. It can be any time, actually. We just need to figure out what we should do. Yeah.
I think it should be fair towards all people rather than the majority of European pilots. So it's not fair for them have always the best time slot.
Yeah, exactly. And the European pilots will already be able to fly in good timing and to have the live streaming during summertime, because all European tasks are in summer. And then in winter time, Northern Hemisphere, you will get the Grand Prix in South Africa, Australia, and Chile. So that's going to be January and February 2023. So that's going to be after the first World Cup, actually, in Condor. So we'll be able to do something at that time, that's for sure. And it will be a really nice streaming, I believe, for the people to watch.
Right. And one fly VW said that I'm not competing in the Boras competition. I will be competing in the Poland GP. So he's doing the next one, starting tonight with the test, and then tomorrow with the actual first day of Poland Czar. And Stefan, how come you choose Boras versus Czar in Poland?
I was here 4 years ago, and that's why I chose this location again, because it was so great here at the club, and also the flying in the flatlands was great. And I think also from the time this event here was better for me, because in 2 weeks our German nationals and club class starts, and then I think it would be really tight
schedule.
For the schedule. And so I have nearly 2 weeks at home, and that's good for my schedule to prepare for the next event.
That makes sense. So the club class, or the 50-meter class, are you ready for that? Are you flying the LS3 on that one, or which one?
Yeah, the LS3 in club class. Yeah, really looking forward to it. I already flew a small competition 3 weeks ago in our club, where we also made some kind of a small Grand Prix. We were allowed to fly with different gliders, so the handicap factor was with the different types of gliders. We had different sizes of turn points. So with the LS3, I was not it didn't need to fly as far as others with the ASH 26 or anything else. So it was also really interesting and fun, and I also won this competition. Was good training for Sweden, and I really like to fly the LS3 as well. Really looking forward to fly it again.
Well, my highlight of planes that I've been flying, it was after my solo flight with the Super Blanic, was then the club planes that we have available for single gliders is the SGS 126. That was my first solo plane here in the US. Back home in Germany when I used to fly, by the way, I'm German.
It was
Wow, but your English is so good.
He lived in America for so many years, man.
Ich könnte das glaube ich auch in Deutsch machen mit dir, das wäre kein Problem. Wir können da also argumentieren und diskutieren und tun. Kein Problem. In Germany, when I used to fly solo, my first solo plane was the Ka-8 or K8B.
Yeah.
The Ka-8B, that was my plane, and then we go to the K6, Ka-6. And here in the US, after the 126, I stepped after just 5 flights with the 126, I stepped into the 136, which is a huge increase in gliding ratio and handling. And the next one will be the 135, which is a flat plane. So it's still aluminum, will be flaps. And after that, I will step into the Grope 103, the Astir.
Mm-hmm.
An Astir because of the flaps that we're learning, and it's going to be Kunststoff or fiberglass. And after that, the biggest or the fastest or best club plane that we have locally is the LS4. The old LS4.
I started with the ASK 13, then the first single-seater, the K8.
Same.
And then I went with a DG 300, where I made my first cross-country flights and so on. And before we got the first own glider, the Standard Libelle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you flew quite a lot of Standard Libelle, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah, together with my brother, we had a Standard Libelle.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was also great, and nearly all my junior career, I was flying the Standard Libelle, at least I think for 700 hours or so. So quite a lot.
That's a lot of hours.
That's a lot on one glider.
Yeah. That was really good to have the own glider to go to different competitions and don't care about the club if I get the glider or not, and so on. And it was really worth it. But
right, it gives you a lot of experience, a lot of time. A lot of time to practice and get really comfortable with cross country, and if you're in a plane that you know what it can handle, especially when you fly headwinds or when you're downwind, and you practice and learn and you get better at it, and then for you after 700 hours to say, you know what, now it's time to go into the LS3 or the other big planes or the fast planes that you're flying, the AC-29 that you're flying right now, these are top-rated, top-class planes, you know. And so you have the experience of a Libelle, and you have now the hours to really kick to obviously win competitions. And we're not just talking some low-life competitions. This is the top of the world Grand Prix racing. You know, this is the Formula One of soaring, and you're in it, and you're the first to qualify. That is.
Thank you. That's true.
You got to see it as such, and we're watching the best pilots in the world. In the virtual world, as we see Vitold right now, and we see you in the real world. I actually noticed that Jerome, who's not flying today, is actually also 61st or something like this. In the
he's a really good pilot in real life as well, yeah.
Right.
Jürgen from Belgium.
Yeah, I know him. I think he was flying a German junior championship some years ago.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
I have standard class.
I have on the YouTube here, I have one fly again asking, he's from North Carolina, and he's asking, what club am I involved in? And I'm wearing the shirt right here. If you can see it, it's the Tampa Bay Soaring Society, TBSS, and one of the biggest clubs in the US, as a matter of fact. It's the biggest members. We have 120, and we capped it right now. We said no more because We don't have enough instructors to handle all the new students that have come in over the last 2 years. With the pandemic, people discovered, and since we stayed open, because we realized during the pandemic that we're outside, we're away from everybody, and it's not like crowded, except if you sit in a duo of some sort. But we decided to stay open, and the membership has grown tremendously. And I'm going to throw in right here, Vitold is going turn point 4 already. That is massively fast. I think his average speed is probably up by now. He's probably around 120, 129 maybe. 120 even, so he's super fast, and it looks like he's actually on final glide. He might be just cruising along right now. But look at the speed now. 130.
Still, turn point 4. It's like we have, I think, Thursday, it's like, I think 65, 66 kilometers from now to the finish line. So it's not so far. But them in real life, after 2.4, you had to take at least two thermals, two thermals you had to take. But now they have like 1,500 meters, which is not that bad. But you had a bit less than that at 2.4 this afternoon. So I think he will take this one, and maybe it will be enough. But I'm not sure. I think he will take 2 as well.
Yes. And the others, perhaps they are able to climb a little bit more. And with the wind, they get blown to the turn point, so they have a slight advantage. We'll see. Perhaps it was something I was not able to turn so high, and I thought it's really not good. And the others nearly were able to follow me then later.
Also, an interesting thing right now, as we see Cuba and Vitold, turn point 3 to turn point 4, they're basically crossing each other. They're so narrow next to each other, so you're having to watch for oncoming traffic right now. And I'm pretty sure they actually might take the benefit of seeing where the thermals are, and you can see that they're flying directly where Anna Martin Güttler is and the rest of the crew. They're going to take that same thermal if they have to, unless they're already on final glide. But as I know, Vitold, he's probably going to take a little sniff on that, fill up the tanks, and off he goes. That's what he's been doing all day, and he's going to do it in the way it looks. And why not? He is in the lead, but Cuba is close on his tail, meaning he's not giving up. He gives them the run for the money. He's going to make him push hard to win this one. And yesterday he pushed so hard he didn't make it. Cuba, come on, Cuba, give him a little something. Make him sweat, make him push. Come on, let's see what happens, because mistakes pay off. If you push somebody hard, they make mistakes, and that's also what happens in competition, especially in Grand Prix. You have a pilot behind you who's pushing you. You're trying the best to stay ahead of it, because first wins, second is second, no matter what. And so to be able to push someone is also a gift or a curse, however you want to look at it, So Cuba, I'm going to say Cuba.
Good to stay higher, but not in front of each other. So you have the safety margin, the altitude, which you can transfer into speed at the end. That's the safest option, I think. So then you can also see what the other is doing, and if he takes some more turns in the thermal or where he flies.
Well, that's where we're at, guys. I love what Frank is doing, the German, Foxtrot 9. Actually, that's not Foxtrot 9, it's Helmut. I'm sorry. Helmut is our senior racer. And as I said, virtual flying or virtual soaring, it takes a lot of brain juice. It takes a lot of mental strength to be able to handle hours of competitive soaring. And Helmut is one of those guys I'm always impressed. He's a super guy. He's from the middle of Germany, somewhere near Hamm. So I've chatted with him many times in TeamSpeak, and very knowledgeable person and very solid pilot for sure. As well as Frank, Oscar 9. Then there's CON. We talked about him earlier. He has a live stream going on as well. I don't think Tim has set that up because he was Timke's. And then we have 8 Kilo. On top of that,
Ronny Lindell from Sweden, 8 Kilo.
Yeah, He's from Sweden, 8 kilos, and it's a bit confusing right now because we have this back and forth. So where it's what?
Yeah, some are going to 10.4 and some already passed it. So I think Vitold already went to 10.4. KMI, Alpha Mike, Zulu Bravo Yankee, TKM, and Juliet Tango passed 10.4 as well. And the other ones, they need to go to 10.4. And actually, they took quite an option, KMI and Alpha Mike, because now Vitold, who was the first, is not first anymore.
Yeah, Alpha Mike is on it. Yeah, on it.
And Kuba probably turned as well, I think.
So here we can see Vitold, and they have the Victor Romeo Victor and 6 X-ray Romeo, and 6 Romeo has not turned yet.
No.
So he still needs to go to the turn point 4 and come back to where Vitold is, and there you see a difference of the class, but it's just an explanation of what we're seeing right now. It's very confusing, but it's not. I hear the crowd in the background. You guys having still fun back there, aren't you? That's Stefan and Antoine. I hear the crowd in your background.
Oh, yeah. Do you? Do you?
Of course I am.
Oh man, sorry guys. I didn't know. I thought it was good.
It's super good. Are you kidding me? It's great.
Yeah, there's plenty of people, I can tell you.
I think I will leave you soon.
Yeah.
Go back to the party.
You can go back, Stefan. Thanks for coming.
Have a great race. It was nice to talking to you here, and perhaps I will also find time to fly a virtual Grand Prix soon.
Yeah, in winter you will have some time, maybe.
There as well, of course. And thank
you
so
Stefan,
much.
thank you for stepping in and being part of the commentating tonight. It's a very pleasure to have you on board here. And we're looking forward to see you in the next competition days, wherever you will be. And I'm personally looking forward to meet you in person one time in life for sure. I know it will happen.
Yeah,
and,
this will happen.
It will happen.
Bye.
So, ciao. Good luck.
Ciao.
Thanks.
And congratulations. So Anton is doing a goodbye to Stefan, and I'm going to continue here. We're very close to the finish line. We have flown so far 197. Arne has flown 197 kilometers, and the task is 251, if I remember it correctly, or 247, something like that. So, and now we have
256.
256, close. I don't have all the numbers in my head. I don't have it on my screen. But hey, Antoine, welcome.
Welcome again.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Max Maslak will come later. So one of the German sports soldier in the German junior team will come later on just to see what's going on, because he's never been able to fly a virtual gliding race. So maybe we'll start doing that. He's only 19 years old. Stefan is 29. We're kind of the same generation with Stefan. We flew together some events already. So we know each other for quite some years now. But yeah, Max is another generation. And I met him during the event, and quite a nice guy as well. He's flying a big fan of Champion and Ventus, and he's very close to the people working there and so on. Kind of someone that probably will be a very good pilot in a few years, Max, and will represent Germany for quite some years. And he's not there yet.
That's all right. It's all right. So I'm going to go back to the race right here. We've seen Vitold constantly being still in the lead, and he's holding himself. Arne Martin Güttler caught up, so he must have a good thermal prior to them, where Kuba is right below them. So there is the top 3. Vitold, Arne, and Kuba. And then under that, we have the following 4, ABP, ZBY, and Thomas Meyer. A bit hard to see the blue on the green, but it is how it is. And Timke, TKM, right, of course. So they're taking the cloud base one more time right here, up to 1,750 meters. So the cloud base is going up and up throughout the day, as we expected it.
It might be the last one for Vitold now at 1,750 meters. I think it's the last one for him.
That's what I thought. Now we have 56 kilometers to go.
Yeah,
55.
should be enough.
Enough. But again, we have some of the crosswind a little bit, and
it will be full headwind on the last 10 kilometers. And today in the real event, like more than half of the pilots, they ended up below the minimum altitude of the finish line. So they had quite some penalties on arrival. And Stefan, who finished first, was one of the only guys not to get penalties, actually. So it's really important. And the winner of today, in real life, he had 11 points, and the second gets 8 points only, because the winner gets an extra point. So in virtual, it's going to be 100 points, more than the 1,000, So if Stefan ended up like at the second or third place, he may not have been able to manage to get to the world final. So it was really important for him to get to the first place today. Otherwise, he would have just lost and
try again next time. Right. Try again next time.
And he actually pushed quite hard in the end, and he really smashed Sierra, another German pilot, on like a few kilometers before the finish line on that final leg. So they need to anticipate the fact that they will have quite a strong headwind on the last 10 kilometers.
Well, let's see if they're listening to us, they'll probably take it. If not, we'll find out. Vitold is probably trying not to do this again, because if you land out because you didn't make the minimum height, you see what happens. You go from hero to zero. 0 points is not acceptable right now. And with 0 points, Vitold will not qualify. That is for sure, because Anna Martin Güttler and or Thomas Meyer are leading right now ahead of them. And if they both score better and higher, and Vitold does not, then somebody will be very upset. But nevertheless, we still have so many opportunities to qualify. We have 10 opportunities to qualify, or 11? 9 times. So, you're on silent, by the way, Anton.
Sorry, I said so. 9 opportunities indeed to qualify. There are 10 events, which never happened. Usually it's 8 or 9 events. There are 10 events this year, so they have 10 opportunities to qualify. This is the first 2 pilots, plus the world champions. So there are going to be 21 and maybe 22 in the end if there is a wild card given to the local organizer, so Italy. So we will see. It's not even sure that they get a wild card, so it might be only 21 pilots in the final. Yeah, and for us, it's going to be exactly the same. And we already have Ben Fest was qualified for the final because he's the world champion of the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. So now we're going to have our first 2 pilots who qualified tonight. We'll get the results actually tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Because we need to have all servers running and all pilots doing the race in the world. And so we will only get the results tomorrow afternoon, and we will see who does qualify to the event in Pavulo. And we still don't know what we will do for the world final in virtual. There are some plans maybe to do it in a room where all pilots are invited. We don't know yet, or it may be at the same time at Pavulo, but I don't think it will be the same time as the real Sailplane Grand Prix in Pavulo. It should be, and it will be probably a different event, so not at the same time than Pavulo. It should be it will be really exciting to do the Sailplane Grand Prix World Final in 2023, the virtual one. So we will see what happens.
Don't you think it might be difficult to do the finals like this if you have 21 pilots or 20 or more in one room? You have to have some really good internet to make that happen.
Yeah. It needs some sponsors and partners, but it's a possibility. And there are some esports organizers that are, or esports rooms that are specialized in those kind of events. So we may be able to do that, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, this is dreams. Dreams come true, and let's see what happens.
The dreams come true, but I think we can really do something with everyone involved. Maybe we don't need 7 days to make it up. only 2 or 3
Super
days
nice
with
right
several
here.
races.
Look
That's
at this,
where
how everybody's trying to catch that thermal. I
Yeah,
think it's not the last one, as you said. They're still going up because they
Yeah.
know it ain't enough. McCready says not enough height, so they're catching it. Vitold is leading super close by
yeah, to Arne
Anna.
Martin.
Super. That's a fun race. Kuba right there as well. KMI right behind it. And then ZBI catching in fourth, fifth. And so there you can see right now by the high, this is the leader. And this is not over. This is not over. This is going to be
Oh
nice.
no, a lot can happen till the end. And they still have, you see, 213 kilometers they have done so far. So they still have 43 kilometers to do. 43, so that's just one final glide now at 1,500 meters. But it depends at which speed they fly. If they want to fly at 200 kph, that may not be enough. So they need to watch out at which speed they want to fly.
Yeah,
And be careful for cloud flying, guys, and be careful for when you leave the thermal. Well done, Vitold. He's leaving now. Arne
everybody
Martin
else
is
takes
trying
another
to.
turn. So Vitold is literally one turn ahead of Arne Martin Güttler, and he probably has to be watch out not flying into the cloud because he's really high right now. Oh, and he's taking another sniff at it. Wow. Okay, that's 2 turns. I think
That's a
KJ.
bit too much, maybe.
Wow, he's taking risky. If he goes that high, that's risky. You can see right now he's lowering, he's speeding up.
Yeah.
He's trying to avoid that cloud. I think it would have been best if he left it before he turned that last time. And you can see he's above everyone, and he's taking a huge sniff at it. So he has a lot of height. Interesting approach. And now he's speeding up. He's like, okay, I gotta go. Go.
Yeah, I think he wanted to make sure that he would get the second place, Arne Martin. So he tried to climb, as Stefan said, as high as possible, and then to catch the guys later on by just pushing and get more speed. I think that's his plan so far.
Yeah.
But Kuba flew well. Kuba, he left the thermal earlier, and now he's just behind Vitold, 1 or 2 kilometers behind. So Arne Martin, he needs to fly faster now to catch him up.
No, he's already catching him, so you can see he's catching him. And
there's still a long way to go because we say it's only like 35 or 40 kilometers to go, but they still have one cloud here. There's still a kind of headwind, and there are some clouds there, and we can see the turn point to the left just after Vitold there, and then you have the final line. So, and you see Vitold is still taking maybe another thermal. It's crazy, but maybe the thermals are really good, so they want to take 3 meters per second, 3 meters, so they can keep that high mic ready. Maybe that's possible. You see the variometer now, there is almost 5 meters per second, so it looks really good.
Wow, look at Armin going above.
Can we have a close up on that, Tim? Thank you. So we can see what Arne is doing.
Arne just took
he's going for it. Huh? He doesn't want to lose time. I think that's the right option. I think Vitold is taking too much care now.
And look, we have Kuba is also thermaling again. So it seems like Arne is doing the dolphin action, trying to get a little bit height and go forward, make distance. I mean, now it's pedal to the metal. Now it's forward, stick forward, see what happens. Trim forward, stick forward, fly fast. Here we go, get another dolphin action.
Yeah, and you see Arne, he didn't stop, and see where he is now. He's ahead of Vitold with more energy.
Yeah.
So he flew really well, really, really well. We will see what happens. But it looks quite good for him and for Kuba. But everyone is pushing, and it's more than 200K because we see sometimes 200K, but that's ground speed. So they push at least at 230 or 40K. That's why they drop quickly to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, to fly this in real world, you feel the plane in those speeds. You feel the plane, you feel the vibrations, you hear the sound of the wind. That's something that virtual world does not bring across as much as if you were sitting in these high performance glider. It's fast, guys. I mean, flying this fast, flying 190K ground speed, that is fast. And super duper. Somebody else is coming.
Do you want to come 2 minutes, Max?
Two minutes until the beer pong is filled.
They are talking about beer pong. They are the Germans. You see how they celebrate the event in Boras? Come on.
There we go. We know what's happening. You want me to come in 2 minutes? The Germans are talking about beer, of course. What else? That's what they do for a living, no? They get fed.
That's what they do for a living.
That's the way to go. You know, bring the Germans on. Have a beer right next to it. I know that. Come on, just bring them on. Hello. You know, I mean, like, you're not supposed to drink and fly. So, if you have alcohol, don't fly for 8 hours. That's the rule, right?
Exactly. What we say is 8 hours from bottle to throttle.
Right.
8 hours.
That's the number.
Rule. That's the rule in aviation. Respect it.
Right. So good thing they flew earlier, and Max is saying, I need my beer before I step up front of the camera. So give us another second, right? Freshly draft, I have to have it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's a true German from me. I love it. The French would say, give me a bottle of wine. The Germans say, give me a bottle of beer. It's all good.
So 30 kilometers to go for Vitold, and I think Arne Martin is in front of him. So less than 30K to go for Arne Martin.
Yeah, Arne Martin, Vitold is flying a speed of 170 average right now. And look at his vario. It's very, very low, near the 1 mark.
Yeah.
So that's a nice, smooth sailing, or soaring, as they say. And Arne Martin Güttler is flying with what speeds and what height is he at? We have Vitold at 1350, and Arne Martin is flying faster, way faster. He's flying 30 kilometers faster average, and he's already 1,200 meters down. How is that going to play out? That's, again, 2 different strategies here. And there we go. Arne Martin Güttler says, I have 30 extra K, do a little stick lift, get the height, 1,200, 1,300 meters, boom, 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 boom. That's all I need. Continue soaring. I think Vitold is going to come from behind with a bit more speed later on, which Arne is taking now, and Vitold is going to do later. Because you could see he's now at almost 1,400 meters. That's 100 meters more. And 100 meters in speed, with the glide radio of 40-1 or 41-1, whatever they have, that is some extra speed. What do we know? Good competition. That's what we know. Good competition.
Yeah, it's not done yet, but it was really a fun event. It was fun in real life, but in virtual, the pilots were really lucky because they can fly every day. And we had really nice races, and we could fly to the west side as well, to the west coast. We had really nice views and so on. So it was really, really nice to watch every evening. You've seen that on one of the lives, the Germans and all the people in Boras were watching as well, a virtual gliding race here. So it's not when you see like 18 or 20 or 30 people or 40 people watching the live on YouTube. Actually, there are tens of people watching the live. Outside, there is just one screen connected, but 20 or 50 people watching. So it's really cool. And everyone really loves it to watch those races. So it's really, really nice for us. And we really appreciate to share and promote the sport. So it's really, really cool to do.
We have on Twitch, we have Eddie Rion. And he says, how in one room, ? Is going to be a physical everyone in Italy for the final? And I said, well, that's the idea and dream, but we don't know yet. That's my response to you guys. We don't know yet. We would like that.
Exactly. We don't know yet. It can be, we would like to have a proper real event, esports real event, but that we, I think, probably not be in Pavulo. It has to be a real event. There are rooms that are much more adapted than the Pavlo airport to do that. So it will probably not be in Pavlo and probably not be at the same time if it's a big event, just like the real SGP. So we will see what we do. It's still in talks and we're still thinking about the best things to do. It will depend a lot, obviously, on the sponsors and partners that we can get for this. But first, we need to produce good live streamings to attract good partners so we can do nice events. But that's what we have in our minds, to be able to produce something like this. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But it might not be for 2023, it might be for 2025. We will see, but that's the plan that we would like to do for next year. That's one of our goals to reach for next year.
So is the Grand Prix every year or every 2 years?
Yeah, it's every year. It's been every 2 years because of the pandemic. And some Grand Prix were not taking place, like in Russia or in other countries, because of the pandemic. So they had to reschedule some of the Grand Prix. So it took 2 years to be able to produce a world final and so on. But basically, it's supposed to be every year. So next winter, there should be another bid to plan the national event and so on. But I think a lot will change in the coming years in Sailplane Grand Prix. Can't say too much about it, but I think plenty of things will change, and the way of organizing all of this will change probably as well. So we will see.
Again,
it's supposed to be every year.
We're a growing production company, and we'll try to do our best to make this as accessible as possible, and to make it as exciting as possible, especially for the people like you guys sitting behind a screen right now, possibly just watching and or flying or considering of flying and entering the competition. And so our job is, and our goal is, to make this as exciting and as enticing as possible. So it's not just, oh, I'm the winner and I get a little plaque, as a computer plaque, but maybe you get the bronze statue, or perhaps you get a ticket to the event where all can meet up. But it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of grinding around, and it takes sponsors, money, of course. And so if anyone out there is watching and says, you know what, I have an idea, I know who has money, or I have money, contact us. Talk to Antoine, our director, or talk to me, or whoever you want to. Communicate with us, get in contact with us, and perhaps we'll find a solution that would benefit everyone. As you all know, money talks, and money is big, and money is a big influencer. And the sponsors finding a really cool people to say, you know what, this is what I like to do and support. We're open for suggestions and or for some links to connect to. And here we go. Anna Martin Güttler with 826 meters is the first to turn on turn point 5. And after that, it's time to turn right and go to the finish line.
So will he make it above 250 meters? I think so, but with the strong headwind, we will see. And Vitor, that's much more energy, but he's trying to get it back. We will see. Arne is well positioned now, well placed.
Yeah, but again, Vitor is higher, so he can use a bit more height. And as you said, that extreme headwind coming your way, the McCready is going to go.
Exactly.
So he might have to take another lift right there. And Vitor says, I'm only flying 170. I'm keeping my height, so I don't have to do the. So we'll find out in a moment. Different strategies, different risks. But I see Arne Martin Güttler right there finding another cloud to do the dolphin actions. Is it going to be enough? Is the question. Does he have enough? The big question, because that probably were the last cloud before the final goal line.
That's a long glide, but that's only 10 kilometers. He's probably 7 kilometers away now, and less, 250 meters to spend. So that's not a lot. He may not have enough energy. We will see that in a few minutes. And Vitold is pushing. He's pushing because he knows Arne Martin is first overall now, and he needs to get the points. So he has to be careful, Vitold. He needs to get the points, because if he gets the points, it should be enough. But still, if he can win the day, he will take it. That's for sure. Because there is the bonus points today, 100 points for the winner. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
While we're seeing it happen, unfold right in our faces right now, we have about 2 minutes left before the finish line is being reached. Who will it be? Right now, of course, Arne is in the lead and Vitold is following. Vitold has more energy right now. He is higher and he's flying faster. Arne is only 500 meters and Vitold is 700 meters. That is a huge difference. That's 200 meters. And Arne is only 150. Yeah, that's 600 meters. So it's a 100-meter difference. Who is it going to be? Who's going to make it happen? We don't know. We're going to look at it, and this is a tough race. And both need to stay above 350 meters.
Yeah.
Don't mess that up. If you do, 0 points.
Can we get back to Arne Martin just to, thanks, Tim, just to check the speed, 180. He will not be able to pull up that much. He will be able to pull out a bit, but not that much. I think he's really looking at the McCready there to be able to arrive with the minimum energy on the finish line so he can spend his entire energy before crossing the line. That's going to be very tight between the two of them because Vitold is pushing quite a lot. He's going faster by 40 kilometers now.
He's actually flying the 40 kilometers and he has headwind faster.
So just imagine.
That is, and now look at that stick lift he just got.
Oh, wow. That's going to be very tight, man. That's going to be very tight. I can tell you, it's going to be very tight between both of them.
Wow, guys.
That's going to be super tight.
Silence. That means the commentators are just watching the screen and it's like, oh my God.
You see, they're still pushing and they will try to pull up because they just want to try to win that race. Like Arne Martin, he has to pull up 100 meters now. So we will just try to get there. I think he will make it, but that will be shorter with that pull-up. He still has 1 or 2 kilometers to make.
He has 0.8 of a kilometer to the finish line. He is 240 meters. He has to pull up extremely high.
Will you make it, Arne Martin? Will you make it? He's trying.
Wow!
Yeah, you've made it, man. Well done. What a race. Well done, man.
Wow.
What a great arrival, Arne Martin. What a great race. Well done. And Vitold has completed.
Vitold right behind it, only seconds behind it, super close. Did you see that finish? How he just pulled it up and
I thought he would not make it, but that was a really great pull up to stall speed and then getting back. That was a nice pull up.
He didn't even release his water. He left the water in. He didn't even pull it out. He left the water until the last second. Here we go. Another close one by Cuba, but he has good speeds. He should be able to do it just like, come on, guy, pull up.
That's well deserved, Cuba. Well deserved. He's raced really well on all the races, so that's well deserved.
So that is the third place right there, and we're having the followed by by Timke coming in fourth. Wow, impressive. Timke coming in fourth.
And Zulu Bravo Yankee, So that's a Polish pilot as well, Zulu Bravo Yankee.
And Frode on our YouTube channel saying, "Congrats, you're fantastic." He was all for Arne Martin Güttler.
Yeah. Great race.
Totally behind you on that one. That was super nice. And this is what's happening here live at the second annual virtual soaring GP in Boras, Sweden. We're seeing as we speak the final glides coming in. KMI right here. This is My Highly coming in at 8th, I believe. Wow.
So we will see the results, but my guess is that Vitold wins with 6 races out of 7. I think Vitold wins the event, and I think that Arne Martin is second. I think that's my guess. We will see, but that's my guess. Maybe Arne will be in front of Vitold. We will see. But that's my guess so far, with the 100 extra points.
We cannot discount Mr. Thomas Meyer, who is second right now in the overall.
Yeah, but he is second because Vitold has only 5 races instead of 6 in the best overall. But Thomas should be third or around that place. I think it will be Arne Martin and Vitold who qualify for the world final so far.
Unless one of the other guys in the other servers fly much faster.
Exactly.
And also Arne Martin Güttler ain't getting 1,100 points. or
Yeah.
we don't know yet. So this will have to wait for 12 hours from now. We'll know
Yeah,
the result.
exactly.
And so for all of you guys, if you're a soarer on the virtual world, you know to go to the clubhouse at Condor Club, and you find the results there. If not, we'll post it on our Discord server, which is FAI Virtual Gliding, which is our soaring Discord server. If you're not a member of that yet, you need to become a member of that. And
We're reaching 300 pilots on the server today, by the way.
we reached 200 today.
We are reaching it. It should be like still 299, but the next one who reaches it, if you want to join, you just look at FAI Virtual Gliding server. If you are the 300th one to come, you will get one free registration to one of the events. That I can say already,
All right.
because it was already planned in my head. So
the number 300 will get a free registration for a virtual soaring Grand Prix entering spot, which is a €3 competition fee that we'll take for you and bring it on. And so if you haven't registered on Discord,
FAI Virtual Gliding, Discord,
you got a free ride.
I'm gonna throw it in the chat on YouTube. The address of the Discord, so that you can join, and the first one who joins actually gets that.
Right. So if you do it on YouTube, might as well give it also out to the guys on Twitch, if they're still there, because we still have people watching left and right.
Yeah, I will do.
And Adorion says, thanks for the response and answer, and you're very welcome. This is what we do, guys. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for the viewers on this YouTube and Twitch channel. We are here to please you and make this and share us. How about that? We're sharing us for you to see. But of course, always in the mind of making you guys happy and having something to do on a beautiful Saturday afternoon or evening or morning or wherever you are in the world. Much appreciated that you're here and chatting with us, watching this incredible race. Now we have another person just crossing the line right there. So really nice. And Antoine, I appreciate this opportunity again to sit next to you, even though we're 6,000 kilometers away from each other, or 7. And we'll see you again in the chat room soon. We'll talk about what's going to happen in Poland.
Yeah, we'll try to do something, I think.
Yeah,
we'll try to do something.
Here we go. So now there's a link on Twitch as well as on YouTube. If you, I'm going to copy it from Twitch. I'm going to copy it from Twitch if I can.
If you're the first one, guys, you get a free registration to one of our events. Just go for it. I'll send you a mail afterward, a PM via Discord to get that.
So what we're giving away right now for you guys is on the YouTube and Twitch channel. We need one more person to reach 300 club members in our Discord server. If you are not a Discord server member in our FAI Virtual Gliding Club, then click on the link that I just posted on YouTube and on Switch, and voila, you're number 300. And you get a free ride for the Virtual Soaring Grand Prix of your choice. That means Poland or Lithuania or Germany or whichever one it is, but you get a free ride to enter the competition in the virtual world.
Yeah.
Ta-ta-ta! So guys, and with that, I want to say thank you all for watching and thank you for listening. Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, Tim, on the background. Thank you, Sebastian, on the other background. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful night. Beautiful ending on May 14th of 2022.
Yeah.
Au revoir. Ciao. Tschüss and goodbye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thanks.